up, bros, and welcome to the All Bros Podcast. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we're a couple of aspiring filmmakers that love to watch and critique movies, but also enjoy a bit of the nerd life. This week on the podcast, we're actually joined by two special guests. The Untrained Eye podcast. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Bethany, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bethany.
And I'm DJ, and together, by our powers combined, we are the Untrained Eye.
Love it.
How's it going, bros?
It's going. Bros needs to get his shit together, but...
Kiss my ass.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk about behind-the-scenes stuff in front of the scenes.
Exactly. Asshole.
Please, if anyone's listening to at least one episode, they know we do that on a constant basis.
True. Okay, good point. All right, anyway, so this week on the podcast, with Adventures in Hunting, we only got 2 pops to talk about, and then we got 1 Blu-ray to talk about. We have no this week's sneak peeks because COVID-19, thank you. I'm just waiting on the Halloween Kills trailer. That's all I'm waiting on.
Yeah, we're going to be waiting forever.
Hey, Halloween...
Wait, what did you say? The Halloween Kills?
Yeah.
What is that?
Is it a new movie?
You guys
Is
don't
it
know
like
about
the new
Halloween?
Halloween movie?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out this October, hopefully.
Wait, so is
I
it...
love how excited you guys are that we didn't know.
Is it like a reboot, or is it a sequel, or what is it?
So, have you seen the Halloween that came out in 2018?
Is that the...
I don't think we did.
I don't think so either. That wasn't the Rob Zombie one, right?
No. So they're doing what they're doing now is like they're like literally creating a whole new lore. So in this lore, so with Halloween 2018, literally they made it to where only the original Halloween happened, and after that night, Michael was arrested, apprehended, and he spent 40 years in this what. I think it's called like Smith's Grove Sanatorium. I forget what it's called. I call myself a Halloween fan, and I don't even remember the name.
I was going to say,
The
isn't
Looney
a
Bin?
sanitarium where...
Yeah,
like,
Sanitarium. I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you're
I thought
right.
that's like where janitors keep their shit, but all right.
I don't know. I forget.
Okay.
Smith's Grove. Let's just call it Smith's Grove. But anyway,
Okay.
so so it's been 40 years, and then he breaks out and. Basically, he returns to Haddonfield on Halloween night, and because of, like, the, how, literally the night of what Michael did to Laurie Strode in 1978 has, like, messed with her head, like, so badly that she, it, like, literally destroyed her life, and she spent, like, 40 years just prepping for his return, and...
This was where she, like, went all Sarah Connor, right? I think I saw that on the trailer, where she just, like...
Okay.
So, yeah,
that
Halloween
sounds good.
Kills takes place, like, literally right after Halloween 2018.
Dude, so they have it filmed, or...
Yep, yeah, they have it filmed. I think they said they already have a trailer put together. They're just putting their final touches on it, so hopefully...
I heard in Florida today that our governor opened it up for something, but I read whatever it was and movie theaters. So, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are theaters open?
No, well, Water Gardens is, but...
Well, that doesn't count. That's a drive-in.
Okay, well, no, they've opened the inside.
What?
Water Gardens has opened their inside, too.
Ew.
Gross.
So it has a drive-in and a inside theater?
Yeah, they Water Gardens just decided to do it. I think I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks after everything got shut down here in Utah. They're just like, you know what? Let's do a drive-in movie theater. Charge $20.
That was more of a, we can't
that's
afford
kinda
to be
cool.
closed this long. We need to come up with something
Oh,
fast.
okay.
But apparently Cinemark.
But it seems kind of like a retro idea. Do
Yeah,
a lot of
they
people go to it?
It seems like it's been successful.
Yeah, they actually did a graduation thing there for some of the 2020 grads. Like, they had like a
Well, that's cool.
slideshow playing there, like in the middle of the day.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
So
Yeah, I
can you
drove
see the
past it.
slideshow?
Yeah, it's super glary. It is super glary. But I mean, there was just a ton of cars
Yeah.
parked there, and they were watching this thing. They have one that's like a projector that I think they only do at night, and then they have one that's like a screen, or not a
Okay.
screen, like
That's
a
awesome.
monitor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't the projector the one in the back? Or
No,
is that the
that's
one in the
that's
front?
that's the monitor. The
Oh, my bad.
projector is the one on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, you're getting too deep into tech talk. I just watched. I'm like, how much butter goes on the popcorn? It goes. You fill it up halfway. You put some butter. You fill it up the rest of the way. You put some more butter.
Yeah. And don't forget the napkins.
I just tell the guys I want to glisten.
Yeah. I want it to be a regret when I'm done.
And they know what you mean by that. They just look at you like,
Trying to
that's
go
extra.
see Twilight.
Yeah, I usually want to walk away being like, this is too much.
This is why I just never get
Yeah.
popcorn at the
I have a
movie
separate
theater.
bag.
I actually
That's
had
a
one guy
racket.
get real sassy with me, be like, would you like some popcorn with your butter?
Like,
And
hey,
I like grab my
minimum wage,
bucket,
get out
and
of
I
my
was just like,
face.
you know what?
And then he said, I hope you enjoy the movie. And you said, you too. And then you look down and go, dang it.
Whatever, you don't know me.
Yeah.
I can fully
Maybe you will
testify he's
enjoy the
done that a
movie.
couple times.
I do that like so often, where I say something, I'm just like, hey, you too. Turn around and just like,
Yeah.
I just lean into it at this point. I'm like, listen, you're probably going to see it or already have. You know you enjoyed it. Or you might.
Yeah. Eventually.
So what did you say it was called? I'm sorry, Halloween Kills or Halloween Overkill?
They should have called it. Let's go
you
with
know what? That's
Halloween.
actually accurate.
If you think that's overkill, I don't think you want to know the name of the one that follows Halloween Kills. It'll come out in 2021.
Really? What? Do they already have it named?
Yeah.
What is it?
Halloween Ends.
Halloween
Oh.
Ends. That actually makes me happy because maybe they'll just be like, all right, Mike Myers has finally been put to his final resting place, and we can have a new bad guy at Universal Studios in October.
Oh, like Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
There we go.
Do you guys have anything like that where you live? Like, where are you guys?
We're in Utah.
So we have
Utah.
Lagoon Frightmares, right? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Because Caleb's a pussy.
Hey, forget you.
You are, though.
Is that...
I'm sorry.
Wait, so what? Is it a theme park or what is that?
It's like an amusement park. They have like rides there, different attractions, and then for Halloween they have what they call Frightmares, where it's just like a bunch of people dressed up scary and they try to scare you. But, and I know this from personal experience because I bought one for my wife.
What about the quotations?
No, just
Your
wait.
wife?
Just wait. Well, no. Okay, maybe the quotes shouldn't have been on wife.
Okay.
But I say I bought it for my wife, but they have these glow sticks that you can buy, and it basically tells all of the people dressed up not to scare you.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I would
okay.
accidentally buy one for Beth, too. I'd be like, oh, my God, they accidentally gave me 2 of these? I guess I'll have to wear this one right on my hat so no one even is confused that I accidentally spent all this money. They were so expensive. I can't return it.
You probably are. Well, like 10
At
bucks
least they
each,
offer
probably?
that.
They were more than I care to admit that they were.
For something that should have been free, you should have been able to ask for. Be like, hey, please don't give me a heart attack. And they're like, listen, we hired literal children to scare you. So if we...
Yeah. I was showing off it would have been smarter to put it on my hat, but I was they give you like a lanyard, and I was holding it up like a freaking FBI badge.
Coming through.
No, it's just really dark, and I'm trying to read, I don't know, my credit card number. I don't know.
Have you? Have any of you seen Wayne's World?
Yeah, for,
Remember when
yeah,
they're
for
walking
sure.
backstage and they're just like flashing?
Yeah.
I could
Dude,
just
I didn't
imagine
see that
Caleb
until-
doing that.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Like, they had these haunted houses, and it was like the same rules applied if you had one of those. So anytime I walked around a corner, just like I flashed it and like then I
Yeah.
walked.
Dude, that's crazy. That I never even thought of that. They're like, we have an easy mode for this haunted house.
Yeah, I wish
Like-
they had that at Universal Studios.
What if they gave you the wrong one and there was like the green one means easy, but the red one means hard, which means they will grab you.
My first experience with a haunted house, it actually wasn't even a house. They had like an inflatable dinosaur-looking thing, and I was walking through that with my family, and then they had like the first thing that like it didn't even move. It was just like to a campfire. I lost my mind, booked it out the entrance,
Okay.
and then I couldn't find my family for like 2 hours.
Why? A tiny golem. He was looking for his precious, and I didn't know if he would think I had it.
Yeah, but I saw where everyone had to walk, and I noped right out of there.
How on earth did you make it through Chucky?
I don't know.
Okay.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid. Have you guys ever seen or heard of the movie The People Under the Stairs? So I'm gonna take your silence as a no. And that is, it's a movie that everyone tells me it's not really a scary movie. But I saw that when I was a young boy, and I was like, it was on like, I don't know, HBO or Showtime or something,
Yeah.
and I wasn't supposed to be out, and I like snuck out in like the middle of the night and was like, "What's on HBO?" And it was The People Under the Stairs, and it horrified me. The one scene that I remember vividly, maybe not vividly, because everyone's like, "Oh, seriously, it wasn't that bad." But what I remember was a girl in some kind of like nightgown that was bloodied, and this older woman that was like, "We need to wash you," and is like putting her in this tub of like scalding hot water, and she's screaming, and she just can't get out. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm 10. I've made a lot of bad choices.
That's how I felt with I think it was 2003, maybe 2000 something, the Punisher movie, where the freaking Russian gets boiling water pushed on his face. Yeah, I watched that when I was like too young.
For boiling oil on the face? What do you mean?
No, they were like boiling water. Like it was these people were boiling water, like they were about to like cook spaghetti or something. Then this Russian comes in, and the Punisher grabs the pot and like throws it on his face. It was actually who played the Russian?
So wait, did you have flashbacks during the movie that we're about to review or go over tonight? Did you like all of a sudden just start screaming in the middle, like, "Oh God, no, no, take the donkey, no!"
Do you have a flashback to bacon grease to the face?
Yeah.
I will admit I was getting very tense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
Even when you know it's not real, like you're like, both of those are bad. They're
Yeah, when
so bad.
Yeah. Like, I'm not like going in spoilers here, but yeah, when she like tipped over her chair, I'm like, okay, like, please don't actually show
Yeah,
this.
this is.
I was just like, oh
Yeah.
no, oh no, oh no.
What if she trips?
Yeah. All right, no spoilies. All right.
Oh.
All right, so
I'm sorry, we have diverted
No,
you
you're
so far away from trailers.
You're good. You're good. Hey, it's still movie talk, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so we got nothing for this week's sneak peeks. So, and literally nothing for what's in the box because still nothing. But after Adventures in Hunting, we'll be moving on to our main event of the evening, which will be our All Bros and Untrained Eye breakdown of the Lovebirds. I almost forgot the name for a
Oh
minute.
my gosh, dude.
I'm sorry.
I could see him putting it off, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, he forgot the name.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was just resting for suspense.
Yeah. I thought you were having a flashback of the pan of hot grease.
What really shocked me, I don't know if when you guys watched it, if it was on like Netflix, like top recommended or in their like top 10. I actually had to search it. It did not come
Oh,
up.
really?
Yeah, it didn't come up on the main page for me.
That's weird.
I know,
Yeah.
like a week or two ago, it was number 1 or number 2 trending because I saw Kumail like tweeted it out like, "Thank you guys for, making this the number whatever trending movie on Netflix." So
Yeah. Oh, I think we watched it like on probably the day after it came out.
that's
Oh,
probably
okay.
right.
So, yeah.
I just thought it'd still be trending just because it's a Netflix original.
Yeah, it was like the first
Well,
thing
there's
that popped
no-
up on mine.
There's no men with mullets in there cracking whips at tigers, so
Yeah.
True. That's a good bet. That's a good.
Like, yeah, so how good can
Like,
it
there's
really
only one
be?
There's no
episode of this
people
movie?
getting fed to tigers, so.
Hey, no one got fed. I mean,
I've never
That
seen.
we know
I've never
on
seen
purpose.
the
On camera.
show,
okay,
so.
well,
Carol Baskin's husband, maybe.
yeah, but oh my god. Okay, so this is movie adjacent because I guess they're gonna make a movie about it, so that makes it about a movie, right? I just saw a headline today that said that the sheriff in her local area confirmed that
Also, her local area is also our local area. She's
it's
Oh.
in Hillsborough County. Where
is
we
it Hillsborough
live.
County?
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I thought
Nope.
it was Jacksonville. Sorry, but the sheriff confirmed that the will was for like her husband's signature was forged on that will.
Yeah.
oh shit.
I read the
Oh,
article on that,
shit.
and it said that like they probably won't do anything about it because the judge validated it. So even though they know it was forged, it's so well at this point.
The plot
my
thickens,
gosh.
boys.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
I haven't watched Joe
Okay.
Exotic yet.
When I first was going through it, and they were like talking about Carol feeding her husband to the tigers, I was just like, no,
Mhm.
like Joe's just making shit up. And then when it was like the campaign video and she started talking about sardine oil, I'm like, oh yeah, she totally fed her husband to the tigers.
Well, one of the crazy
Yeah.
parts about that was like I don't know how many animals they have on that property that she has, but she showed this like, I don't know, basically like a personal sized meat grinder that you would have for your house. And she was like, look at this. You can barely fit a ribeye in there. How would I even get a whole man through there? What? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, really? That's your only hand crank meat grinder for the whole deal? Cool. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
guess I
Yeah.
believe you. You said it on film, so.
Yeah, and did no one else notice that she never denied it? Like, they're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, she never
Boulder
says, I
Dash,
did
I
not
say."
do this. She's just,
What you talking
Whatever.
about?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
people say
Listen,
crazy
cats and
things.
kittens. Yeah. I'm sorry. I've diverted you again.
So,
Are you-
Rose, is there a reason why you haven't watched that yet?
Wait, what?
Is there a reason why you have not watched The Tiger King?
I don't
Just
know. I
not
feel like
You
interested
love
in it,
animals.
or
that, and I feel like the whole show's already been spoiled for me.
No,
Yeah.
it hasn't.
It hasn't. Oh.
well, yeah.
Listen, I mean, you should see it. Like it here's the thing. I think there's only two people that engage with that, and it's either the people that see the first 5 minutes and go, "That's it. That's all I needed," and the people like us that saw the first 5 minutes and were like, "How do we take all these episodes in at once?"
Yeah.
Like, is there a way to just play them all, just watch them all right away?
Didn't they
I'm
announce
telling
that
you, you can know.
Nicolas
Go ahead.
Cage is going to play him in
In
a
Joe
movie?
Exotic in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yes,
So that's real?
Yeah.
there's going to be a mini series, I think, that is going to be or a limited series or something that's going to have Nicolas Cage as
But why?
Joseph Exotic.
Like more info than the one we already saw?
Do you not want to
Someone
see?
pretending to be that?
Do you not want to see the craziest man alive play the craziest man alive?
Yeah, I guess.
It's honestly a match made in heaven.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
sold the second they were just like, we're thinking Nicolas Cage. And I'm like, I'm in.
I know Joe actually wanted David Spade though.
Now.
He did?
Yeah, I think just because of
Like Joe
Dirt.
Dirt.
Yeah.
Listen, we need to watch Nicolas Cage if he really plays that guy at Joe Exotic, because we are going to lose him Heath Ledger style, because he is going to get too lost in that. And they're just going to find him dead in his bed one morning. Like, what happened? Like, he became Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
There was a tiger in his bed. It was not a drug overdose. A tiger ate him.
His last words were that bitch, Carol Baskin.
Scrawled in blood on the headboard.
I was hoping one of us would say that, so thank you, Caleb.
That's awesome.
Anyway, what show are we in?
Right?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. All right, what do you say we get started?
Let's do it.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Donny, and I host the Adulting with Donny podcast. And this is not the show to listen to if you're trying to be a better adult. I started this podcast as a way to offload some thoughts that I have throughout the week. My topics vary widely every week. Movies I've seen, guns and gun control, sex, people that are stupid, why I don't care about celebrity opinions, TV shows, snowmobiling. The list goes on and on. I'm always taking topic suggestions from fans of the show too. So join me each week on Adulting with Donny as I pour some bourbon and allow you to see the inner workings of the mind of a madman. Live free and rant hard.
All right, so first up with Adventures in Hunting, we got a couple pops to talk about. The first up is a alien pop from Toy Story. It is going to be the Diamond edition of the alien. I don't know if you guys can see that well.
So why is it considered diamond?
Because
Yeah, we
it's
can see it.
okay. Because it's all glitterized. It's got glitter all over. Kind of what's the word? Like a lame exclusive.
Yeah, it's seriously just if someone threw up glitter on the paint.
Oh, so
they're
it's
just like,
basically
we need
just the
something
same
to
thing,
do
just
with this.
glittery.
I can just imagine Funko
Okay.
getting a group of kindergartners together and just saying, "Okay, here's some glue, here's some glitter, go crazy, and here's your selection of pops."
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, you guys have ruined me because I was like, Funko Pops. And there is such a deep lore to them that I had no idea of until your show that I'm like, and now, like the one you guys had last week, the two Spider-Mans looking at each other, I immediately went to that. I'm looking for it, and they're like, you're like, oh, it's a pre-order. And then when you guys were like, oh, I think I can wait until it like goes on sale, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I won't pre-order it.
Yeah,
Never in my whole life did I think I would be pre-ordering a Funko Pop, and then I was like, okay, I gotta hurry up and get it. Everyone's gonna want it. It's the funniest meme alive.
It is. It really is.
yeah, our walls are. I mean, my wall, especially, is nuts. I mean, you can't see it right. That's baby stuff, but I mean, let me see if I can.
It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
We've got like 5, 6.
Yeah, my first one was one that Rose gifted me, and
But
I
no, I
became a
thought-
freaking junk.
I thought your first one was Spider-Man, the one that your aunt gave you.
Yep.
Yeah, the unmasked Spider-Man. Come on, man, you don't even remember
Are
your
you
first.
his
No,
aunt?
no, it wasn't the Spider-Man. My aunt gave me the Thor,
Oh yeah, that's
and then I stole the Spider-Man from my brother.
Wait, then where's the Thor?
The Thor's the. Where is Thor?
Just
Back
he's
to
up there.
Asgard.
He's up there somewhere. Oh, he's right next to Iron Man.
Oh,
Where is she?
okay. My bad.
Dude, and I will say those aftermarket pops are ridiculous because I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to check out because, you know, they have one for anything you could possibly imagine. So I was like, oh, I'll get a Ren and Stimpy one. They have to have made one of those. And they were like, yeah, we totally did make one. And if you want to spend $100+ on the set, then you too can have Ren and Stimpy. I was like, nope. I'll just look at this picture really hard and remember it.
Yeah, welcome to our world. One of the
sucks.
Hulks that I want is like, well, it's like the same paint job as like a cheaper Hulk. Like, it's like the same figure, same everything, except it's like darker green. And that one's like $80.
Oh,
Or,
wow.
and then like the one that I got was like 10. which I bought off someone for $9 because I told him the box was dented, even though I take them out of the box.
You bastard. I'm just kidding.
Listen, you gotta haggle them down.
Yeah. I mean, was the box dented?
Yeah.
Okay, that excuse only works for me since I actually do collect in box.
Yeah, well, it gets me cheaper stuff, so I'm going to say I keep it in the box.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know.
But yeah, then
But
they
I
have
gotta
like
say,
a whole...
I do like the. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say they have like a whole other like 4 or 5 other Hulks that are past like the $200 range.
Good Lord, what are they like? Misprints? I don't know what you would call that for a pop, but is that what that is all about, or are they just that limited?
No, they're just that limited, and it's ridiculous, and I hate it.
The only misprint I've seen that I would actually want is they did one for the Oompa Loompa, but a misprint just had one O, so it said Oompa Loompa.
Oompa Loompa.
Okay.
Yeah, Oompa Loompa.
See, like I like those, like something like an Oompa Loompa or like that alien from Toy Story when they are like perfectly made to be a pop, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why that is satisfying, but it is to see for some reason. Guys, you've mentioned some of the ones that you're like, it looks weird as a pop, but like that alien, I'm not gonna lie, it might be not the diamond one, but I might be looking that one up after the show.
Honestly, if you want to like try to go for like places that you can get cheap pops, Amazon usually is a really good place because sometimes they'll do rollbacks on just commons.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon and like the back of Walmart. They're like,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one really, like the Walmart by our house, like nobody goes back there, and there's just stacks of them. Just like, well, I mean, well, I guess you could take them. We'll give you $1 if you just take these away, please.
Yeah,
They have some cool ones, though.
the Walmart in Springville. What was the name of the guy in that Woody Harrelson played in Solo? Was it Beckett?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to the Walmart over there and went in the pop section. There was like nothing but Beckett's. Like, no joke, nothing but Beckett's.
Oh, wasn't it Tobias?
That is what
Beckett?
boggles my mind about Funko in general, is they make seemingly thousands of one, and especially ones like Beckett that you're like, I don't know. I imagine you would only get that guy if you're super hardcore, but normally like a kid isn't going to be like, oh, you know who my favorite was? Not Chewbacca. It was Beckett. The guy who double-crossed the hero. Or maybe not, but probably.
Screw Han Solo. Like, come on.
Yeah. Beckett's my guy. I'm dressing up like him for Halloween, Mom.
Yeah, comb over
Well, maybe
and
if
all.
you're trying to complete a set.
Yeah.
You got to keep
bad
saying
guys, I don't
putting
know.
together a crew. He said that in every single damn trailer for that movie. Oh my
Yeah, but then
God.
it turns
You're
into that
Beckett,
Rick
like-
and Morty episode.
Wait, what?
Oh, you don't watch Rick and
Yeah,
Morty?
you know the one where Beckett shows up.
No,
I've
there-
seen the first season.
yeah,
so.
there's a whole episode of Rick and Morty where they're talking about heists and everything. So, like, a majority of the show, there's like they just show clips of people saying, "I'm putting a crew together,"
Oh goodness.
and then the guy, and then like some guy that's like in a job, he's like, "Nah, I've gone straight," and then his boss says something like, "Hey, could you go sweep that up?" And he's like, "You know what? Screw you. The name's this. Like, you son of a bitch, I'm in," and then leaves.
What the hell?
By the way, that is the best meme to come out of anything. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Oh,
Yeah, that's just basically
Sorry.
what Beckett is. He's the
Yeah.
putting together a crew.
yep.
He goes around to the other, like the Avengers pops. He's like, I'm putting together a crew. And they're like, no thanks, man. All
This
right.
guy again.
Exactly. All right, so the final pop that we got to talk about, said just got 2 this week. It's Thor, which will be part of the Amazon exclusive Avengers lineup that they're doing,
Nice.
to where it creates a whole circle, and he's actually already up for pre-order, and so he is the 4th one, I think. Isn't it just Cap and Black Widow left?
So we got Iron Man first, then Hulk, Hawkeye. Yeah, so Thor's
Okay.
4.
Okay. And the only one I pre-ordered is Hawkeye, of course. Because, yeah.
Of course.
I still
So
haven't.
is the
Beckett
majority
of the Avengers.
is the majority of your pops, are they superheroes? Or do you guys have any offshoots of like random cool things?
I have a bunch, like... I
Not
only
saying
have,
that
like,
the superheroes aren't cool.
No, you're good. So I have, like,
Like
some
he was
Marvel,
laughing.
but, like, literally Caleb's is all Marvel. That's...
Yeah,
literally-
except for the ones that I've been gifted that aren't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I have, like, my Marvel wall, then I have all of my Hulk walls, and I only have...
Other.
I only
Yeah,
have
exactly.
I have, like, 3 Hulks that I don't have, not including the ones that are, like, $200, and that $80 one, because I can't swing that past the missus.
Let's just drive to
'Cause
Cali.
you can't look
We'll
your
play
baby in
lottery.
the eye and be like, I had to have these.
Yeah, and then I have, like, Supergirl, Bulbasaur, Pennywise, a few Star Wars, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, and others.
And others. Okay.
They're like, those are my, like, that's over in one corner is like my other section, and then like my Marvel section's over here,
Okay.
closer to my
Prominently
desk.
displayed.
That's his.
Nice.
I don't give
And
a
what
shit.
about you?
Pride and joy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And what about you, Rose?
You said mostly Marvel?
So I feel like mine's like all over the place. So like I have Marvel, DC, like stuff from like other shows and movies that I like. I don't know. I don't have like a set series that I like to collect. If I like a pop,
Just
I'll get it.
randoms.
I feel like that's us too.
Yeah.
Because we've got like Odd Job from GoldenEye. Baby and Danny from Dirty Dancing.
Johnny.
Or
It's
Johnny,
Baby and Johnny.
Danny.
That's awesome.
Who else? What do we have? The banquet room scene
Oops,
from
sorry.
Ghostbusters. And what else?
We have a couple Avengers. Captain Marvel?
Nice.
Oh, no,
We
it's
know a
not
lot about the
Captain
ones we
Marvel.
have.
It's what is his name?
Oh,
The scratch.
eyeball, eye scratch.
Nick Fury.
Captain
but before
Fury.
he got his eye scratched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I have that one. I'm pretty sure.
I gave that one to you.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
Oh, and we've got what is it? The Mandalorian, the heavy armor guy, the one that had the minigun on the Mandalorian on the show, like on I think it was the last episode.
Ooh.
We've got that one coming, and the child
yeah.
that will never get here. It was ordered 10 decades ago, and every time it gets close, they're like, "Yeah, man, COVID-19. Have you ever heard of it? It's crazy out here, man. We can't get it to you."
Yeah. We got to protect the child.
Yeah, I know.
Which one did you get? Because there's like a ton of those ones coming out.
So I think there's one that's not a Funko one, but the Funko one I ordered, I think it's the one of the meme ones that they released. I think it's him with
With
the
Oh,
cup.
the cup. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that one. I want that one so bad.
Yeah, that was one. I think you guys might have talked about that, and that brought it to my. I was like, oh yeah, I need to get that.
Yeah, the only one that I didn't really care for was the one where he's eating the frog.
Yeah, that one was
Ew.
interesting.
Yeah,
Even though I haven't seen the show.
was that the one? Did he have it in his mouth on that one, or was it just like off to the
No,
side?
it was in its mouth. Yeah, they had the one that's in his mouth, the one where he's like using his force powers, one where he's looks kind of sad.
Yeah, sad baby Yoda.
So all of them.
Yeah, based. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, then they have like just the normal like figure where he's just like in a normal pose.
Isn't
they
he,
have
like,
that one. They have a
reaching out?
10-inch
And the original.
figure.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think.
And
That's the one we've got. That was, I think, that 10-inch one. I gotta check and see. That's the one that has been the bane of my existence because it was supposed to be here at the end of May, and every day I get a new update that's like, nah, not today, man. Not today.
hate that.
Yeah, now arriving Saturday. Okay, sure.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, but it was ordered on January 1st.
Ordered January 1st.
Oh my gosh.
6
Oh
months
my
ago.
goodness.
What is it? We got the 11-inch small Yoda-like soft figure from The Mandalorian is its description.
Awesome.
Like you can click it and then show
Wait,
it.
I see. Can you see that? Everything is so bright.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
That's way cool.
I want to say I've actually already seen that at AF Target.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I got a buddy that already got his. He ordered it, and he posted a picture of it, and I was like, "You suck! Why?" So nobody likes it. It's Florida. It's because we're in Florida. We're being discriminated against, and that's why I've actually come on the show today. I have a lot to talk about.
All right, so does this
So
kind of
Thor,
lead into discrimination with The Hunt? Considering it kind of seems like that movie is
Sure.
okay. I don't know. I've just heard that like with this week's Blu-ray release, we got The Hunt coming out on Blu-ray. But what I've heard, it's kind of like I forget how like people described it. Like it makes
It's basically The Purge, where rich people hunt poor people.
yeah. There we go.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be like MAGA, but not called MAGA. It's like all those guys look ridiculous. And is it? Yeah, it's to me, it just looked like people got very mad about that movie, but to me, it just seemed like a just intense satire movie. Like, did you ever see or hear of the movie The Pest back in the
you were
day
gonna bring that up.
with John Leguizamo?
I haven't.
If you've never heard of or seen that movie, this episode is over. You have to watch that movie right now. But The Hunt seems like it just seems like an extreme version of that movie, because that movie was just a funny movie with John Leguizamo where two guys basically hunted him, or actually a guy hunted him. He brought him to an island under the guise of like, oh, it's going to be fun. Don't even worry about it. It's going to be great. It's a free trip. It's cool. And then the next thing you knew, he was being hunted. But it was a comedy, and this seems like that.
It
But
really
comedy
does.
or no?
It does.
Like,
I don't know. I've heard it's kind of just all right.
yeah, I mean, what was the Purge, the second one? They basically did that. They had like a bunch of rich people
Oh, yeah.
driving around in a van, picking up poor people, throwing them in the back of the van, and then like releasing them into this room where a rich guy got to hunt them down.
Yep. And that's why.
In a room?
Yeah,
Was he just shooting fish in a barrel?
No, it's like a laser tag-ish looking room, but
Seriously though.
Oh, okay.
but yeah,
It was a gymnasium.
I mean it's a decent sized room.
But I just love the fact that it's like, okay, we're just going to shut off all the lights, give the actual purgers night goggles and guns, and then you guys, who are the ones being hunted, y'all have fun hiding.
Did you just say you like that idea?
Oh, no, sorry, I was just like saying what happened.
He does that.
Did we
a
just
lot.
find something out just now?
I'm not that dark, I promise.
We're recording this too. The audio will see the light of day.
Yes, make the purge happen. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
He says that, but he's
Away
also
from Utah.
He's winking, guys. We can see him on the camera. He's winking. Every time he says he's kidding, he
Yep,
winks
yep.
so hard.
yeah. I mean, he constantly talks about bringing the purge, but he's also very self-aware, knowing that he'd be one of the first people to die.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
Good. Like,
that's
I would want to be the first one to die.
yeah. That's what always is crazy to me about people that are like, well, what I would do in a zombie apocalypse. Would you? No, you wouldn't. You would die, and you would pray for death if you didn't. Like, that would be what it would be like.
Yeah, I know. In a zombie
that's the
apocalypse,
purge, and that's
I'm gonna
the hunt,
sit in
it's
my
all of
house
it.
and cry until I get eaten.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, only if I'm getting eaten head first. There's no
We'll hold
chance
each other
that
together.
I'm
The only
waiting to
thing that's going to delay,
Yeah.
the only thing that's going to delay me getting eaten alive is my kicking and screaming.
You've seen Bob's Burgers, right?
Yeah.
Remember the twins, Andy and Ollie?
Yeah.
That's literally going to be us for the zombie apocalypse. We're just going to be cuddled up,
Pretty much.
There's not going to be
basically
any.
saying,
The
"I
zombies
miss you,
never
I'll
got
miss
you.
you."
They just
yeah.
They find you guys in your house 50 years later. The zombies never got you. It's just two bones holding each other.
Yep.
Yeah, like, hell, what am I going to do against a zombie? I was taking a shower and stepped out and saw a mouse and freaking almost broke my neck.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna lie. If I saw a mouse anywhere in my house, I would almost fall and break my neck, no matter what I was doing.
Yeah, and it's a different kind of fear when you're buck-ass naked.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
That is there is no. Yeah, the only worst position you can be in is pooping. That's
True.
it.
Yeah, like, no joke.
When did this
I
happen?
defy you to tell me
A while ago, I was getting out of the shower. It was when we had like that big mouse problem, but I threw poison after screaming.
Wait, when did you have a big mouse problem? You never told me this.
Were you just holding poison?
No, I called my landlord after I was done. Like I jumped up on a stool and I was just like, ah! And then I had my neighbor the next day say, "Hey, is your wife okay?"
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, did you hear her singing too? It was crazy.
Yeah, doesn't that sound like a cartoon? Like, doesn't that sound like a cartoon? He jumped up on a stool.
Yeah, like I've been fine. Like when I'm fully dressed and have shoes on, like, and I see the mouse, I'll freak out. Like I'll be like, "Oh, that startled me because something alive is in my house that I didn't want to be there." But the second you remove my clothes, it's a different ballgame, dude. That'll put the fear of God in
Everyone
you.
has the same nightmare of, like, whatever small thing it is, like running up your leg and biting you in your soft parts. Okay? Like, there is no...
My feet off the ground.
You're gonna have to start zip tying your pant legs.
Yo, you got any spare duct tape back here?
Just in case.
After I'm done using it, none for you.
Wow. 12 years of actually, no. How long? Let's see. Yeah, 12 years of friendship just down the drain. Wow.
Get your own duct tape.
Rude.
Yeah.
Like, I saw this video on YouTube this morning, actually, of
Do
this
tell.
guy that was naked, and he kept on trying to fight people, and they,
Dude.
like, knocked him down, and then, like, he kept on getting up and, like, wrestling them. Like,
I was more impressed at the people that kept coming at him.
You saw it, too?
Yes. This dude was as naked as anyone's ever been, and no one was messing with him, and he was just like, "Hey, the world, I would like to fight you now." Wait, let me. It seemed like it was a scene out of a movie. All right, I can continue. He, I don't know. This guy was clearly drugged out of his mind, but it was the crazy. Like, it legitimately seemed like it would be something out of a movie because this dude, he was getting body slammed. Like, you could see he was getting like scratches and beat up and everything, and he was like, "No, you're gonna have to make it weird because I have no shame, and you're gonna have to touch everything."
Yeah. Like, you could tell he was getting, like, road rash everywhere because he kept on falling on, like, the ground.
Turns out, I read later in the day, he saw a mouse.
There were no stools.
Why can't this pop up my suggested YouTube?
Oh yeah, it was you I was telling that I have the craziest algorithm ever. Like, I just have stuff come up for me because what did you messaged me the other day? One of you two messaged me and were like, "Where do you get this stuff on Instagram?"
Yeah. Well, okay, that first off, that was
It's
me.
pretty awesome.
And the video that he is talking about, it was like a 3D rendered SpongeBob getting hit by a pineapple, and it was like I don't even know how to explain it.
It basically stripped his skin away, but left his eyeballs and teeth, and like all the skin. It's gone
Yeah,
now.
it's gone
I can.
now.
I'll
Okay.
send it to you.
I was gonna say I gotta see this for myself.
Most of the stuff that I post, I try and save anyway, just because I'm like, oh, this is weird. Maybe I'll use this later. But I'll DM it to you. Just keep liking stuff like that, and you'll have all kinds of weird stuff in your algorithm soon enough.
Yeah. I feel like there's different levels of, like, with videos like that, there's different level, like, with the naked guy wrestling people. There's different levels of naked. There's, like, fully clothed, like, taking, like, your shirt off, pants off. Then once,
We'll call
then
that
there's,
zero
no,
naked.
then there's, like, like, buck-ass naked, like, no clothes, like, as naked as the day you were born, and then there's, like, naked with socks.
I don't remember if he was wearing
No,
socks.
this dude was full ass naked. Like he
Like,
was.
let me think about this.
Yeah, let me think about every crevice. I mean, and here's the thing. Here's the craziest part about that guy being naked. Great body.
Disagree.
That time.
Normally, people that. Normally, people that love to get naked and fight people are horrifying to look at. But this guy had a good physique. I wouldn't have wanted to fight him if he was fully clothed. So if we had seen him in real life, just a naked guy trying to fight people, it would have been a 180, and I guess we're not going wherever we thought we were going earlier.
And sorry, guys, if you can hear our cat screaming.
Yeah, our
He's
cat
having a
just decided to
fit.
start screaming in the background.
Sounds like my cat.
Does she just? Is it a girl or
It's
a boy? And he just screams.
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe not just like randomly, but whenever you have a door closed, he will let you know that.
Oh, he wants
Yep.
to.
Hey,
It's
are you guys having fun in there? Not without me, you don't.
yeah, that's literally him.
Are you pulling up a picture?
No, sorry, I was just pulling up something for later.
Oh.
Oh, I was gonna say that'd be funny if you had him meowing and we're like, actually, I got it right here.
Wish I did. I should have gotten that.
Well, we covered Pops, we covered Blu-rays.
So on to the main event.
Hell yeah.
Can I do it? Main event.
There we
time.
Yes.
Time for the main event.
It's main event time.
Let's play a game.
All right. So on this week's main event, we will be breaking down the Lovebirds, which was originally supposed to be released in theaters, I think in April. Like, wasn't it like the mid of April?
The mid of April?
Yeah.
I'll
I
pull
don't
up the
know,
just
IMDb
mid-April.
trivia.
Mid-April, there you go. Thank you. But it got switched to being released on Netflix at the end of May. So,
Would you like some IMDb trivia about that?
wait, what?
Because I can give you some.
I feel
Nothing. I'm sorry. I
No, you're
ruined
good.
everything. I was
feel
going to
I am
try
like
and tell you
totally
the right
wrong
date.
on the date.
There's only one piece of IMDb trivia, and I'm going to tell it to you right now because it pertains to exactly what you're saying. Paramount had originally planned to release the film theatrically on April 3rd, 2020, but decided to release it on Netflix due to the coronavirus pandemic and widespread theater closings.
Damn it, I was off.
And so concludes IMDb trivia for the Lovebirds.
It's kind of depressing that's all. That's all it's got.
Oh, we got answers to our question of the week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Glad you always remember that because I feel like I was
I don't always, just sometimes.
remember it more so than me.
Okay, so I posted a question of the week, and my question was, what is the craziest thing you and your significant other have had to deal with? Or, for those of you that are chronically single, choose between getting donkey kicked by a horse or bacon grease to the face.
I feel personally attacked.
To the face.
Well, I feel bad about asking about
That
like
is a
significant
tough
other
question.
questions for those of our listeners that don't have a significant other.
Get
And
out.
our host that doesn't have a
Shut up.
significant other.
Personally attacked, Caleb. Just personally attacked.
So our first response comes from Twitter. Chris Jinko Jones at Jinko JNKO36 said we got into a big Las Vegas club fight. It was crazy. That's nuts.
That is the.
I'm going to need some more deets on that, Mr. Jinko. I imagine people flying through plate glass windows, police being called. There's a policeman on a horse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want to know how. Like, gosh, I would love to do that. I know I'd get my ass kicked, and probably like start panicking and like run into a wall and knock myself out. But I would just love to just say that I've been part of a big fight like that.
A brawl.
A Las Vegas brawl. That is not one you normally get to say. I was part of a huge Las Vegas brawl.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up and see if I can get some more explanation on what happened. Next we got
There was the one time that I got to ride in the Air Force One with the president. No big deal. We partied in Athens.
Yeah.
What? That's it. That's the whole story.
Or somehow I was naked and I tried to fight everyone I saw.
Yeah. I just woke up and was naked, and everyone told me I was scared by a mouse or something. I didn't know what happened.
It's all a blur.
our next response comes from Jigs Views and Reviews at Jigs VNR. He said, split up from each other during the pandemic.
That one like
Oh.
sounds depressing.
Was that intentional or by accident?
Yeah. Were they quarantined together? You're like, enough.
Like,
I'll risk it. Slam.
Yeah, it sounds like some personal stuff is going
it
over.
honestly is sad that like with this whole
Yeah.
quarantine, it's like there's like been such a huge spike in divorce rates.
Yeah, because people have to stay at home with their significant other, and they're like, "Gosh, this person's a nightmare."
Yeah. Before I only had to spend 4 hours a day with them.
Yeah. And most of that was getting ready to go to sleep.
I am so sorry, Brielle.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I have been pretty bad.
And do you think these people are back together?
Yeah. Like, I only have to see you for like single-digit hours again. We can be back together.
Yeah, I think that's been the good thing about me having a job where I don't have to stay home. Like I drive for work, doing dumpsters and stuff, so I don't interact with people ever. Like I just with their garbage.
Lucky.
Yeah.
So I've still been able
Yeah.
to work, so she hasn't had to deal with me longer than
A couple hours.
a couple hours at night.
Yeah. I mean, we've both been working too. We're like, sometimes we have a long weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God it's Monday.
The podcast is canceled.
I'm just kidding.
You should see Brielle in the morning though. She'll like when my alarm goes off, I'll turn it off and I'll like start to like wake up and get ready for my day. But if I take too long, Brielle will nudge me, be like, "Hey, you gonna get up?"
Yeah, can you turn that alarm
No,
off
like
already?
I'll shut the
see me
alarm off and then
pointing?
I'll just start waking up. But if I'm still in bed at a certain time, she's just like, "Scoot."
Yeah, you know what it is? Let me tell you. If she hasn't already told you, let me tell you the true secret that I found out after years of marriage. It's, hey, after you leave, I have a certain amount of time where I have the whole bed, and you're ruining it. You're ruining my spread all the way out time, and I need it.
Oh my goodness.
Because I've gotten the same, like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on here? You're normally long gone by now. What's up?
Yeah, I've
true.
had to stay at like we've gone to hotels together, and when we have like the king size bed, she's just like, "This is great." And we have like we have a queen.
That's supposed to mean.
Yeah, like exactly. She'll scoot off like way over, and then when I come, she's just like, "Hey, your side's over there."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I know I'm all the way over here, but I just want to know, or I want you to know, right, where the imaginary line is.
Yeah. Or get a room that has double beds. Hello.
Yeah. Nothing says strength in a marriage like double beds.
If you're on vacation.
She actually tried that once.
We've never
There was
done
a
that.
room I got with 2 queens, and she like went and sat on the other one, and I'm just like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's just like, "Nothing." And this came and sat down.
I can just imagine. Rail's just like, oh wait, the honeymoon phase is still happening.
Yeah. I thought you got these 2 beds. All right.
The next response comes from Victims and Villains at Victims and Villains. He said, "Horse kick. You can always recover from that most times."
I don't know.
But
always, most times.
always.
Yeah, and then me and him got into a big conversation about Christopher Reeve.
Oh, yeah, because he never recovered most of the time.
I don't think he had a horse kick. I think it was more of like the earth was like, oh, really, Superman? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Show me how super you are, and your neck is gone. So wait, what was his? Did he come? Wait a minute. What was the Christopher Reeves discussion you had with him?
Well, he says most
Oh, he
times,
wasn't as
and
super as we all
I
thought?
commented after telling him that this is probably the worst thing that I've ever responded, and said Christopher Reeves didn't. And then he's like, "I'm pretty sure the horse just fell
So
on
that's-
him." And I'm like, "Close enough."
That's one in the L column for horses.
Is that true? The horse fell on him?
Yeah. Do you know what I thought he fell off and just fell like on his head, or did the horse fall on him as well?
I did a report on this in like
Fact check.
2nd grade, and I forgot. I'm pretty sure the horse bucked him off, and then like I thought it bucked him off and then stepped on him.
Okay,
So what was the assignment?
yeah.
We had to do a report on someone, like a famous person, and I got Christopher Reeve.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. And they were like, hey man, wait, how old were you?
I
Or what grade
like,
was
second
it?
grade.
Jesus.
That's
And they were
awesome.
like, hey man, have you experienced tragedy yet as a 2nd grader? Well, this is real life, stupid. Here you go. Christopher Reeves will never walk
Yeah,
again.
it was a tough read. I was just like, oh my gosh.
This is the
Jesus
first time I'm hearing about this. I didn't know this is how Christopher Reeve died.
No, it's not how he died.
Oh, sorry.
He was
He did not
paralyzed
die.
for the rest
Oh.
of his life.
Okay, sorry.
Well, he's dead now.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even know this happened.
He died eventually.
This is the first time I've ever hearing of this. But this is also like how much I paid attention to Christopher Reeve. I'd never watched any of his Superman, so what?
Well, that's all part of like the Superman curse thing, right? Like everyone who's ever played Superman has either died, become an alcoholic, became a racist like Dean Cain. Like one of those things always happens.
What?
You never, I saw your face.
Like, huh?
Dean Cain, if you don't follow Dean Cain and people that roast him on Twitter, everything that guy says, he can't, like, I bet I could pull up something right now and he said something like, well, I don't know. I mean, riots are bad. I don't know what Superman would do, but Dean Cain doesn't like it one bit. Like, he always says something that's just like almost adjacently racist or just bad. I don't know. You guys don't get political. I won't get too political.
There's been a
either.
ton of people that have played Superman that I think are still okay.
But can someone please go check on Henry Cavill
Name
right now?
2.
Okay, Henry Cavill.
Henry
yeah.
Cavill. Yeah, the curse for him is the mustache in
Okay, fair.
Good point.
in this. Yeah.
What about Tom Welling?
So go ahead. Tom Welling. Which one was
Smallville.
that?
Oh.
Tom Welling. I know.
He might be okay
He might be okay.
because we don't know who he is.
Oh, you know who I like? You know what Superman I like? Who I feel like beat the curse very well was Brandon Routh.
Yeah, Brandon
Yeah.
Routh.
The guy that was Superman Returns, and he got his Superman curse right up front, and everyone was like, "We hate it. It's the worst Superman ever made."
Yeah.
And then he kind of like was like, "Well, you guys might still like me." And then he was in, what was it? Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and then now he's like back in the DC universe or whatever as like Kid Adam or whatever it is, the Atom Kid, whatever. I don't know. He's in
Like
like
a-
the
Yeah, he's in.
he's in the Arrowverse.
DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and he plays the Atom.
There it is.
He actually they had a
I don't know.
crossover
I like that guy.
event. What is it? Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they actually let him play
Thanks for reminding me.
Superman again.
I heard that
Oh, they
didn't
did?
Tom Welling get to come back
Yeah,
and do
but
it
he
too?
didn't even wear the suit. I was so pissed.
He had a family.
That's bullshit.
He took a page out of
Dude,
Hawkeye's
we
book.
We can't even
Oh,
see
yeah,
all
family.
of the, because we don't have cable at all. We just have all the streaming stuff. But one of the, I think it's the part 2 or part 3 of Crisis is not. It's just not streaming. They're just like, good luck finding it. You're gonna have to pirate it off the internet, I guess.
One of the, I think part 3 was on Batwoman,
Is it bad?
and
That's what it
Batwoman's
is.
not on Netflix yet.
No, it's what I read is it's never gonna be on Netflix because it's like part of a separate
Well, considering that Ruby Rose left,
Yeah.
like, is there really?
deal. Ruby Rose dipped immediately, and they're not even replacing her. They're just like, the character died, or whatever.
Damn.
I haven't watched the show
That's
yet,
funny.
but I know that they introduced
Do you even want to
Bruce
now?
Wayne. No, I do.
Okay.
Because I know they introduce Batman,
Oh.
or not Batman. They
On
introduce
TV?
Bruce Wayne. Kinda. They don't even introduce Bruce Wayne. They introduce Hush, who just happens to be a clone of Bruce Wayne.
I was gonna say,
Oh, okay.
does she look at her cell phone right before she answers it, and it says Bruce? She's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Like,
Yeah, and then
so I'm sorry. What was the answer to the question from your?
Horse Kick.
Is Christopher Reeve dead?
Yeah, and then pull up Victor's response while I'm reading this one. Then moving on to Instagram, we got a response from Mala Buddha, which is actually Rose's
Clever.
sister.
Yeah. Hi, Christina.
She said, "Earthquake on a bridge over a fast-moving river, and we were both drinking all day. Yikes, it was pretty scary."
Okie dokie. I'm sure that's an alleged story.
Yeah.
That sounds
Christina,
terrifying.
you haven't told me this at all.
Like the
so,
bridge
like,
is shaking.
What the hell, sis?
Yeah, that sounds scary.
That sounds mortifying.
Yeah, no joke.
Like, hope this bridge doesn't fall into this fast-moving river.
Yeah, I'd like to know where the hell she was.
Like I said, I gotta. Next time we talk, I gotta bring this up because
I know, we have to go, like,
Yeah, next episode we need the full
Yeah,
breakdown
right?
of this.
I'll be back next week to tell all.
Yeah.
yeah, next week's episode is just going to be a continuation of this.
Yep.
Just where we
At the Bridge Chronicles.
explain yourselves.
Yep.
I like it.
That'll be your new segment. Explain yourself. About what? Explain yourself.
Then our last response comes from Crash and Taz's movie seller, our good friend Vic. He decided to hit me up with some sass and said, "Is this a would you rather scenario?" And I told him, yes, it was. Then he messaged us, DM'd us, and said, "So you either go through the craziest thing me and a significant other have had to go through together, donkey kicked or bacon grease?" And I got confused because I'm easily confused. And I said yes, and that explained it's two different questions. So even the chronically single can answer. And he says, that's so many options. Since you didn't clarify, I'll take cold bacon to the grease. Loophole found. And then cold bacon
Ew.
grease to the face.
Oh, it sounded like you said cold bacon face to the grease. Isn't that what you
Is
just
that what I said?
I think you did.
Shut your bacon face up.
Yeah, so he said he'll take cold bacon grease because apparently I didn't clarify. And I told him I was going to throw hot bacon grease on his face just for that response.
And then he responded
With the rock.
Yep, with a beautiful rock meme. So it's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Is The Rock cooking bacon?
yeah, is that what he's cooking? Oh, that's a nice apple hickory he's cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would prefer cold bacon grease, but gross.
Yeah, cold bacon grease is like chunky.
Yeah, it's like thick and it's all.
Yeah, but then your other option is disfigured forever.
Good point.
You're like, hey, guys, people will come up to you forever and be like, wow, you're doing a great cosplay of Freddy Krueger. And you'll be like, that's my face.
Yeah, but then you always have your Halloween costume on hot standby.
Yeah, you just need to have a fedora and a dumb-looking sweater at all times.
And then 40 years from now, someone's just going to be like, you're doing Freddy again?
Yeah.
I don't have a
Good
choice.
God, what are you, a one-trick pony? Yeah.
Even if it's not Halloween.
Buy a mask.
Yeah. Oh wait, you wore a mask this year. You're that Mike Myers guy from that series that finally ended. What'd you say it was called? Halloween Ends.
Well, couldn't you go as Deadpool too?
You
Oh,
could go
yeah.
as Deadpool. That is a
There we
great
go.
loophole.
Switch off every year.
There you go.
Switch off.
Those are the only two characters I know that are burnt.
And then, but you would have to be.
Yeah.
You would have to be like half mask up Deadpool so that your burnt face didn't go to waste.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I mean, if your face is disfigured, you kind of have to gain a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, you really do.
So hopefully you're witty and you're not just like a sad Deadpool.
Or
Yeah.
work from home. Those are your two options.
Yeah, no. If my face gets disfigured, I'm gonna be bitter. Sorry.
But the other thing too is you could get your ribs piercing all of your internal organs when you get donkey kicked in the chest. Gah. Like that's all I could think of. When that was happening in the movie, all I could think is you have to choose between being disfigured or
Yeah,
dead,
seriously.
basically. I would imagine like we could shoot you in the face or burn your face off. Those are the two options.
Jeez.
Yeah, at that point, I don't know what I would choose,
sorry.
but I think I would go for being shot in the face.
Yeah, I think.
Rather than the bacon grease.
I saw that show Preacher, and I'm gonna say no thank you to the shooting in the face either.
Can I-
Did you
I
ever
have
see
not
Preacher
seen
I
Preacher.
on AMC? There's a guy that they call Butthole Face or something like that because he tried to kill himself and he failed, and his face is like, it literally looks like a butthole because the way that he tried to shoot himself in the face just, I don't know, just failed. And so you should, well, I was going to say you should Google Butthole Face Preacher, but probably not. Don't Google that.
I don't need that in my
I'm kinda
search.
tempted.
Don't do it. The government will be knocking at your door.
That's okay. It's Caleb's house. So.
Yeah.
Oh, it's you remember that pop figure we were talking about way forever ago? It's in one of our videos. Arse face.
Oh yeah.
That might be it.
Okay, I do remember that now.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Is it arse face?
Yeah, he's a
Arse face.
he's one, like there's a pop figure with him.
That's
Oh, geez.
amazing. And that's it. There is a pop figure for everything. That is what I have found. If you can imagine it, there is already one for it.
Yeah, like
Unless I did find out a few, weeks ago,
Yep.
there are no chicken nugget pops. Yes, thank you.
That,
Yep,
Oh, okay.
that's the guy.
oh,
That's
my
our boy.
goodness.
What kind of gun did he use?
A shotgun,
Okay, that explains
Okay.
I
it.
think.
So you didn't put it inside his mouth?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. It was something very tragic that they just kind of were like, yeah, and you tried to kill yourself. Anyway, we aren't going to focus on that. This preacher guy has, he's got, what is it called? Powers? Did he have powers in that? Or could
I
he
don't
just...
know.
We never finished the show. I think we watched like 5 episodes and we're like, yeah, we get it.
All right, so that's all the responses
All
we
right.
got. So now we can get into the breakdown.
All right, so Caleb, do you want to explain how our breakdowns go?
Ooh, I will do my best. So for those of you that are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually grade to come to a final score for the film. We split it into story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then just give it our own personal grade. And then all of that adds up and magic happens and it gives us the grade school grade. I need to write something
What the hell
down,
was
dude.
that?
Every time I think about like writing something down, it's always Thursday while we're recording.
We're the same way. We're like, man, we should really write this down after the show is over. We're like, God, we should start writing stuff down. That's always the after show conversation.
I always talk about it and then I just always forget.
It's okay.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like usually like on Thursday, like around 5, because like we usually record around 6, maybe 7. I'll be sitting on the couch and be like, I should probably write something down. And then Rose comes and then I forget. So, with that, Rose is going to read us a synopsis of the film.
Oh,
And-
okay. Sorry, really quick. I gotta throw this in. So Sammy's dad, he said that I should come out with my own shirt design. It says the All Bros reading with Rose.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it. Do you think that would look good on a shirt, guys? Think it would work?
Only if reading is spelled wrong.
The All Bros reading with Rose.
Spelled wrong. Rotting with Rose? Or ratting with Rose? I
I
don't
was more thinking just put like EE instead of
Okay.
EA.
know. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay. Yep. I'm down.
Yep, reading with Rose.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So, like with every single breakdown, we spoil the entire movie. So if you guys haven't seen Lovebirds right now, go watch it on Netflix. And you can't use the excuse, well, I don't have Netflix, just sign up for a 7-day free trial. Or is it a 30-day free trial?
Yeah, I think it's 7.
Okay.
I'm sure they're just, you can probably sign up for a timeshare on a password at this point.
Didn't Netflix announce that, like, starting soon, users that haven't been using their Netflix accounts for, like, a couple months or so, like, they'll start...
No, it's a couple years.
Oh, it's years. Okay.
Yeah, it's a couple. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
couple
really?
years, 0 activity.
Oh, okay. They're just going to cancel it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's kind of good, though, because, like, there are probably old people or people that have died that are just like, I don't know why this $10 a month keeps coming out. Well, what is it? There's the other thing of, like, what is it, AOL? Don't people still pay for AOL still? Like the monthly fee or whatever it is?
There was a month.
To have an email?
to have
was
an
a
email,
thing?
yeah.
There's a
for an email.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
it's still a thing.
Shit.
Like, there's an old guy that works with me that they were making fun of him because he was paying for it. Like, get a Gmail.
Seriously.
there's a
Or a Yahoo or a Hotmail.
there's a comedian that I
It's free.
listen to, Christian Finnegan. One of his more recent jokes, he says that he was kind of networking with this guy and said, hey, like, shoot me over your email and we'll work something out. And he's like, okay. And he wrote his email down, and he said it ended in AOL.com. And the guy looked at him and he says, yeah, you're going to have to get a new one. Like a new email.
Sorry, I don't know how to email to the past.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a Blockbuster card. It ages you.
It really does.
I found recently, like going through boxes, our old Hollywood Video membership card. Do you guys have Hollywood Video?
Yes, we do.
It is. I think
so that was
is,
interesting.
What is it now? Like a what is it? It's like a zucchini noodle place now. That's where Hollywood Video used to be.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought you were gonna say it was a Blockbuster
There
music.
was a Hollywood Video that got destroyed over by the Smiths down the street.
So that was a Hollywood Video.
Yeah, it
Okay.
100% was a Hollywood Video.
There was.
Did an unidentified craft crash through the top of it?
There's Do you remember the Blockbuster in AF?
Duh.
Okay, I'm just making sure. No need to get sassy
For
with
everyone
me.
listening, I just want you to know that duh was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. You all, the listeners, have been deprived just now. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so when they closed that down, they turned it into a running store, and I don't understand how that is still in business.
No, it was a... Shit, what was it? They opened up a couple stores, and then it became a running store, and
Oh, they
now
did?
it's been open
Oh.
forever, and yeah, I don't understand how it's freaking open still.
Like, seriously, like, during this whole pandemic, like, the first few weeks, they said, they put up a sign that said, yeah, we're open. I'm like, why? You're not essential. You're like Kohl's and like Burlington Coat Factory. There's no point of you being open right now.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, what does a running store sell? Like shoes and treadmills?
No, they don't even sell treadmills. They sell shoes and like jogging clothes.
Yeah.
Shoes and pictures of shoes. Like you could run in these.
My old store manager, I feel, kept them in business. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah. Like, dead serious.
Yeah, I mean, that's where like the soccer moms go when they want to buy a new tracksuit.
That's true. Speaking of that area, did you see that Burger King? They closed down that Burger King?
About time.
Like, the whole
That place
menu-
was old.
Yeah, the whole drive-through menu is like been ripped out. Just, yeah, it's insane. I can't believe it finally closed.
Good. Anytime I see a Burger King, I'm just
Okay,
like,
can I just say, isn't it weird when they close down something like that? Like when you see like a little like I don't know, just like a one-off store get closed, you're like, whatever. But when you see like recently near us we had a 7-Eleven close down. It's like, what? 7-Eleven? You just exist. Once you've popped up, you never leave. You're just the cancer that is on that land now forever. But no. It can be exercised.
I feel like that's how I'm going to feel when like I see a Starbucks closing down. Like it's going to be something like you're just like, what?
Dude, apparently, okay, sorry, I just gotta throw out one more thing. So apparently, I guess when our Toys R Us closed down, they must have sold some of their pallets to Associated Foods, because a couple weeks ago, and I think I actually still have the picture, we had a pallet that said Toys R Us on the side.
That's awesome.
It was so cool. I wanted to take it home with me, but it would not fit in my car.
You're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, true. Yeah. If I break Phoebe, it's okay. It's worth it.
So are things getting back to normal where you guys are? Like, can you buy toilet paper now?
Yeah, I haven't had any problems getting that stuff. Thank goodness. What about you guys?
Awesome.
Well, as far as toilet paper went, we may or may not have already had a stockpile because one of us, me, might have been a little crazy about toilet paper even before all of this started. So, I don't know.
So, where you guys are is it mandatory to wear a face mask when you go into any store?
Listen to me. We are in Florida. Nothing is mandatory.
Yeah, it's like, that's a dumb question.
That naked guy we were telling you about before probably just ran to wherever he was from Florida. There are some places that do try and like make it mandatory, but it's all kind of been like we like my job is kind of the same as yours, and where I don't have much interaction. The only time I have to go anywhere is to go to the grocery store. So there's not like, I don't know. They never required it at the grocery store. So
Okay.
no.
Yeah, it's just strongly recommended out here in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when
So do you guys wear...
parents are wearing a mask, but their kids aren't.
That is the best.
Nothing is crazier to me than the people that are forced to wear masks, like in this, like the store employees, but they're wearing them like this.
Like with their nose hanging out?
They're just like, okay, you're still breathing in all the stuff, guy. And then they just pull it down. Like you try and talk to them and they pull it the rest of the way down. Like, why are you even here, man? You know this is why you make minimum wage, right?
That's terrible.
That's when you just cough right in their face.
Sorry, I thought you were wearing a mask.
Like, have you guys worn masks at all? Or, because I tried to wear one the other day to my dentist office, and it's on like the second floor, and they don't have an elevator. So by the time I got up there, I couldn't breathe. And I had the mask on, and I was like, I'm like, I'm just gonna go and wait over here. And then they called me back, and of course I didn't wear it while I was getting my teeth cleaned or whatever. But then when I left, I'm like, I'm not putting this back on, and I just left.
So
it's hard to breathe in them.
So since I work at a grocery store, so I have to wear one 8 hours a day, and it's so much fun.
So
but you wear it like a normal person, right? Like someone who's existed on Earth before.
Yes, yeah.
You're like, oh, I want to survive, so I put it all the way over my face.
Thankfully, though, if we're in the back room, thankfully we can take it off when we can actually breathe. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was it like a lightweight, like surgical, or because I had bought one from this lady that it was like a cloth one. I think that was the problem. It was like super thick. And I was like,
so they supplied us with two versions. One is like the tieable ones where it like ties twice in the back. And then this other one, which is the one I always wear, even though it looks like an old lady's bra. Like, that's serious.
okay. Was it more comfortable?
Yeah, surprisingly is. But thankfully that one just like wraps around the ears, so that one's just a lot easier to wear.
Yeah, but I don't leave the house very often, so I don't have to. I've only had to wear a mask to go get my hair cut.
I hate you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they do a good job?
So rude. Folks listening, we can see them.
It's like, I mean, yeah.
I mean, Caleb, no offense, but I'm just kidding.
I didn't mean it like that.
I know.
Because, like, you have the things on your ears, probably, so they have to go around
they
that.
make you, so when they get
That's what I
like
meant.
to, like around your ears, they make you take the strap off, but just hold it over your face. And then they
Okay, that
cut,
makes sense.
but I like, it's super short. Like, I get it like a 0 on the side, so they do that really quick.
Whoever did, they actually did a really good fade.
Well, I hope so. I paid good money for it.
Nice.
How much was it?
It was like $17.
Oh, yeah, that's what I pay for mine.
Tell us all your business. How much did you tip? Did you 50% tip? That person risked their life.
Okay, so technically it was $12, and I gave a $5 tip.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The All Bros. Good guys. All right.
Clean cut. Good tippers. Yeah, and in I work in an office that's like secluded from the public, so nobody wears masks there either. So
I'm hoping once
Think about that.
once Utah goes into a code green, we're not made to wear them, or like it's just recommended for workers to wear them. It's not mandatory anymore. No, we'll see.
yeah.
But
One
Yep,
day,
one,
Rose.
one day.
Yeah.
One day. Or I'll just quit working for a grocery store. Actually, no, I'm not.
That
gonna.
works too.
I like my job, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh, good.
All right, so.
All right, we've derailed enough.
All right, so.
Sorry, that's how we do
You're
our
good.
show.
No, we ramble off a lot, especially him.
Forget
I'm
you.
kidding. I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. All right, so like I said, we spoil the whole damn movie. So if you haven't watched it yet, skip. I don't know, like 5 minutes, 3,
You might want to give him like 10.
10. Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot we talked.
Reading with
During.
Rose.
Hey, shut up. I passed high school, barely.
Jesus.
All right, so Gibran and Leilani are a couple who have been together for 4 years. Their relationship is fraught, and the two argue constantly about a variety of topics. While driving to a dinner party, the two mutually agree to end the relationship. Distracted by the breakup, Gibran runs a red light, hitting a cyclist with their car. The man refuses help and flees the scene. A man with a mustache suddenly commandeers their car, claiming to be a police officer and that the man on the bike is a criminal. He pursues the cyclist, but after catching him, runs the cyclist over with their car several times, killing him. I just want to point out, what's his name? Karan? Or Kumail. Kumail, I'm sorry.
Kumail.
Karan? I'm sorry.
That's something else.
Oh, wow, getting real
Sorry.
political.
Sorry, Kumail. I'm sorry. His facial expressions during this whole scene are amazing.
Yeah.
It's a credit to his work as a comedian. It's fantastic.
He's really good.
I've always said I love an actor that is good at mugging. Like, I feel like that is a skill unto itself of like just being able to, I don't know, make you laugh or feel a feeling just with their face. I don't know. I agree. I think Kumail is great at mugging.
Yeah. I liked how we never learned the names of the guy on the bicycle or the cop.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We don't.
Yeah, they just mustache and bicycle. Like, that was even in the credits. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't notice that.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious. It is. I'm looking at the credits right now. That guy is credited as
That's
Mustache,
hilarious.
played by Paul Sparks. And Bicycle, played by Nicholas K. Parsons.
Oh my goodness. All right, so Mustache prepares to kill Gibran and Leilani with a gun, but flees after hearing police sirens. Gibran and Leilani then flee the scene themselves. Gibran wants them to turn themselves in, but Leilani argues that their unbelievable story and racial profiling will ensure they are blamed for the crime.
It's a very timely joke.
Yeah, right?
Like, I laugh. I caught myself doing like that. Oh.
Yeah, I felt bad for laughing. Having taken the dead bicyclist's phone, they see he had planned a meeting at a bar with a woman named Edie. Leilani reasons that Edie will know who the man is, which will allow them to find out who the killer is and clear their names. The two meet Edie at the bar, only to find that it is a setup. The two are knocked out and tied up by Edie and her husband, Brett. Oh, I didn't even know her husband had a name. Did she say Brett?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she did? Oh. How much I paid attention. My bad. Edie mistakenly believes that Gibran and Leilani work for Bicycle and alludes to blackmail being committed against Edie and Brett. As Edie prepares to torture Leilani, the pair manage to escape. The two travel to an address taken from Edie, which they believe is Bicycle. Oh,
Wait. So we're not going to say, like, what happened when they were really trying to torture
Apparently
them?
Wikipedia
Are we
doesn't
just
want
doing
you
the
to know.
breakdown and then we're talking about it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we
Okay.
get these plot synopsis.
Yeah. I was really hoping to say bacon
Okie
grease to the
dokie.
face.
I mean, you can.
You just did.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's get it clean. Go ahead and do it. Bacon green to the green. I just said bacon green to the face. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm ruining your show. Go ahead.
It's okay. Caleb does it every week.
Hey, screw you, man.
Caleb, we will do our own spin-off show called the Distant Bros.
Oh, I'm in.
So the two travel to an address taken from Edie, which they believe is Bicycle's home, only to find an apartment full of frat boys. They overpower and interrogate one of the boys, who admits he works for Bicycle as part of his blackmailing scheme. Before the two can learn more, Mustache arrives, killing all the boys in the apartment.
I liked how the frat boy that they were slapping around started like crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was confused.
Dude,
I
I
did
felt
too.
bad for that kid, kind of, because he's like, "What? I'm sorry, I don't know."
Cooperating.
Slaps him again in the face.
But whenever he like discovers them in the room, Q-Mail tries to play it off like he knows them. And he's like, it's been a while or something.
Yeah. Hey, man. In that Kumail way, it's like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
It's been so long. You got the stuff? Oh, you have the stuff?
Dude, I can't tell you how many times. Like, so with our church growing up, like they would have like cleaning, so they would unlock the building on some days, or like Saturdays. So me and my brothers would go and like play in there while they were cleaning. No, and then like my mom and dad would leave, and so we would just be in the building like just goofing off. And so we were like running through the halls, and I made a corner, and our one of the leaders was there, and I stopped and was just like looking around. I'm like, "Hey, have you seen my brother?"
Yeah. Have you seen a mop and a bucket? I was cleaning and I got lost.
Like just playing that off. I'm like, "Hey, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I was looking for my brother," like out of breath. And, and I'm like, "But I guess he's not here. I'm just going to leave."
Yeah. I'm going to go look high and low. Don't worry about me. Preach, I'm out of here.
Didn't
That's really funny.
when we used to have to
Like
clean
when-
the church as well, didn't we play hide and seek sometimes?
Yeah, and that never ended well.
No, it did not. Which one?
Like when I was in
Oh,
like
sorry,
the...
no, you go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, when I was in like the second grade, I had like moved to a new school, and I didn't really know where the bathrooms were, and someone was like, "Oh, they're over there." So I just went into the first one I saw, and it was the boys' bathroom. And this kid was at a urinal peeing, and I was like, "Okay, well, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to go in the stall and hang out here for a minute. Okay, I think I should leave now." So
Did you even get to use the bathroom?
no. Like, I just waited in there like, I don't know how to get out of here. And then, like, when the kid left, so did I. So, yeah, awkward times.
Speaking of bathrooms, didn't like one of us like always hide in the girls' bathroom? Didn't one of us?
Probably.
Was it Lish or like Christian?
I think it was Christian.
It was Christian.
Yeah.
Oh. Why does that not surprise me?
Damn. I remember a kid in school that tried to trick me into going into the girls' bathroom once. And he was really good at climbing, and there was a tree in like the playground, so he would always climb the tree, and he always bragged about how good he was at climbing. And I was just like, "You're not really." I told him, I'm like, "You're not really that good at climbing if you can like you haven't even tried climbing one of those lamp
I
posts."
dare you.
And he climbed like the entire freaking lamp post and didn't even like
Oh
think
my
about like
gosh.
how to get down. And so he started like flipping out, and then the bell rang, and so everyone walked in, including me.
And you just left him there.
And then they were
Will you please, do you have anyone that will animate that story? I love the idea of a kid on the playground bragging, "My climbing abilities are second to none."
kind of sounds like Bob's Burgers, like Gene.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but then like the bell started ringing. He was freaking out about getting down, and I was just like, well, I'm not going to be
It's like, my
in
hands
trouble.
are tied here, bud.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm not going to get in trouble because you're stupid. So I walked in, and then the teacher was just like, hey, what's this guy? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. That,
I don't know,
that
man.
straight up reminds
Who
me
is
of a
that?
Christmas Story with Flick, and like they all just go back to class and just leave him out there.
Yeah, like straight up. Like, I don't know how he got down. I think he just eventually like realized he could fire pole his way down. Because like no one went out to like look for him. He just came in late.
Sad.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
it's too good.
Like, did no one love you enough to come and check for you? Like, no.
He's just not here.
Just in the distance, you hear.
Oh.
Didn't you say that you used to climb trees all the time and then have your dad come and get you down?
I didn't brag about climbing trees because I was only a one-way climber. I would climb to the top of the. We had grapefruit trees, and I don't know if you know about citrus trees, but grapefruit trees specifically have thorns that rival bougainvilleas. If you don't know what a bougainvillea is, it has thorns on it that you could use as weapons. Like if the zombie apocalypse did happen, you would use it. You would use one of those sticks as a weapon because those thorns are just terrible. And I would go climb to the top with my little 5-year-old body, and where an adult could never make it. And I would just be too high up in the air, and I'd be like, "Help! Help! Dad!" And my dad would cuss all the way up and all the way down. And that's how I was as a kid.
Sounds like something your dad would do.
No, my dad sat at the bottom. He's like, you found your way up, you can find your way back down.
True. That's a good point. That would totally be Dave.
Well, see, my parents knew how stubborn I was because they were equally as stubborn. So I would just never come down. They'd be like, if they said something like, well, you're going to live up there now. I'd be like, I guess I do. I'm a tree person now.
There was
Whoa.
Gosh, this is just the sidetracked episode.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No,
Nothing wrong.
Sorry.
So my mom and dad constantly would tell us not to jump the fence into the neighbor's yard. Like
Lish's yard?
no, just like our side neighbor. So it was like one of the metal fences,
Oh, okay.
and we kept kicking a ball over the fence, and then we would jump over the fence, go grab it, and then jump back over. And my dad would say, "Just go walk around," and we never did.
Where's
And I'm
the
like,
fun in
"Well, this
that?"
is quick." No, we would tell him like, "This is quicker." And so I kicked the ball over the fence. My brother went to go get it. When he was coming back, jumped over the fence, and the back of his pants caught. And so he was like hanging by his the back of his pants off the fence, flipping out. And we were like, he was like heavier than both me and my
Oh, so
brother,
it
so
was
we
cool.
couldn't pick him up. And we're like,
totally
like we don't know what to do. And so we went and got my dad. My dad was just like walked out, and he's just like, he'll figure it out.
Well, I love your dad because that was going to be my joke as he came out and was like, walk around, and just went back inside.
Yeah, we eventually just pulled on him until his pants ripped.
Poor Coy.
That's beautiful. You'll figure it out. That is amazing. That's the equivalent of your dad. When do you know how to swim? And second question to that, or I guess question A to that is, did you learn to swim by your dad throwing you into a body of water?
So yes, I know how to swim, and no, because my mom took us to
He tied a rock to you.
No, we had swimming lessons before he did that.
I love
Before he tied rocks to both your feet. We're like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, but like I remember my grandpa. We were at a pool, and he's like an old Vietnam vet, so he basically kicked my younger brother into the pool, and then stopped, and he's like, he knows how to swim, right? And my mom's just like, yes, and you can't kick him in the pool.
Oh my.
And he just looked at her and was like, Vietnam, and then kicked her in the pool.
Oh,
Yeah, my mom's significantly meaner than that.
My goodness. Wait, then your dad or your Vietnam
Then my
vet
Vietnam
grandfather?
vet grandfather.
Oh my God. You can't kick him in. That's my job. she said.
Apparently, at my first birthday, my mom was made spaghetti and served it on paper plates, and my grandpa was like flipping out over it. He's just like, I eat on real real plateware, and my mom's like, fine, then you don't eat.
Oh, okay.
Dude, are you gonna psych your mom out like this when the shoe is on the other foot? Like, oh, you want to eat over here? Well, you eat what I want, or nothing. You just slap the plate out of her hand.
Oh, hell no. I am super afraid of my mom.
your mom is terrifying. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I have my own kid now, and I'm still terrified of my mom.
Like, no, you cannot see the child. You will not turn it against me. Your kid is slapping your plate out of your hand. All right, that's enough, Dad.
I come from a family of mean women.
We said that.
No, yeah, some crazy shit's gone down.
You're not wrong.
That is as ominous as I got into a fight in Las Vegas.
Anyway, where were we?
All right. So the Lovebirds.
Oh, yeah. All right, so Gibran and Leilani escape with one of the blackmail envelopes, which contains photos of the intended recipients attending what appears to be a meeting of a secret society. They travel to the dinner party they were originally supposed to attend, tricking Leilani's coworker Keith into unlocking Bicycle's phone, which contains an address to a black tie event. Leilani and Gibran travel to the event where all the attendees are wearing masks identical to those shown in the blackmail photos. The meeting turns into an orgy. That was something else. I'm like, okay.
I like Leilani's reaction being like, are they going to call more numbers?
So the meeting turns into an orgy, but is interrupted when the leader of the meeting discovers that there are imposters present. He tricks Gibran and Leilani into revealing themselves, but moments later an alarm sounds due to a police raid.
I would have fallen for
Yeah,
that
I would have
too.
too. He's just like, no, all members know they never remove their mask. I'm like, well, that's horse shit.
That was my favorite part because Beth was like, "Are they all going to take them off?" Or you said something along the lines of
like they would never take their masks off.
And I was like, "But they don't know that." And then they were the only ones that took them off. And I was like, "You see?" And everyone looked at him like,
Yeah, I straight up would have fallen for that.
I would have too. Absolutely.
I loved his reaction, just like, oh shit.
You just
The
wait.
fact that I was thinking
Yeah.
of this during while the situation was going on. Remember, when they're trying to imitate what they're saying during the chant and everything. I honestly would have just kept my mouth shut.
Oh.
I feel more people.
Or just
Yeah,
mumble
right?
your lips.
I feel more people are likely to catch on you trying to say what they're saying instead of just keeping quiet.
Are they singing "The Circle of Life" from The Lion King?
Alright, so moments later, an alarm sounds due to a police raid. Gibran and Leilani are taken into police custody. The two meet with Detective Martin, who reveals that Bicycle's pursuit and murder were caught on traffic cameras, and the two were being sought as witnesses, not suspects. The police were aware of the secret gathering and planned to shut them down, but the group was somehow tipped off to the plan. Gibran and Leilani are being driven home, but their driver is revealed to be Mustache, who truly is a police officer, but is also paid by the society to shield them from law enforcement. Mustache also ran the blackmailing scheme with Bicycle, who was killed due to a dispute over payment. Mustache restrains Gibran and Leilani and prepares to kill them, but the three get into a struggle, and Leilani manages to shoot Mustache, who is then taken into custody. Gibran and Leilani make amends and kiss. 1 year later, Gibran and Leilani participate on The Amazing Race. That was
an amazing
Yeah.
finish, P.S.
Horse comes in, aw, shit.
Like, that was the perfect callback
It
to the
really
beginning
was.
of the movie. Like, that made it like the perfect arc of like, oh, well, we couldn't?
Yep.
We could. Because weren't they in like first place?
I
At
think
least
they
up
were.
until they
Yeah, I think
faced off
so.
faced off the horse.
Yeah.
I want to know what the hell Mustache's deal was. Like, he must have been getting paid like some good money from a secret society to tip them off,
Seriously.
but
Right.
apparently it wasn't enough for him, so he was also blackmailing people. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's double dipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the one thing that I'm like,
Well, that
eh.
did seem like a
Yeah.
to me that made it, that aspect, like, this whole movie kind of reminded me of like if it had been shot on like film, like old school film, like this could have easily been like an 80s movie.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it seemed very tropey, but in a good way. Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny too. And like today I was watching like a behind the scenes thing or whatever about it. And like they said that whenever they were filming the shot where they get kicked by the horse, or Kumail does, they were mostly improvising all those lines there, and they had like a camera facing their like directly at them, so they didn't have to recreate it later. So all of that is like improv.
That's fan.
And it was
That's
like, it was
fantastic.
pretty hilarious because they were like whispering things to each other.
That is awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that was like one of my favorite scenes while they're just dealing with that. And or when
Because he's scared but mocking her. Not in a face.
but I really liked throughout
But which-
the nonsense arguments they would get into.
Yeah, that was the best.
Because
The whole, what did you think it was a male open only door?
yeah.
That was one of the best like Loki jokes in the whole movie, to be real honest.
But I really like the opening. Like, I was laughing my ass off at the beginning when they're arguing about The Amazing Race.
That was
Because, like, that is like 99% of the arguments me and my wife get into. Just over dumb shit.
And that's why I think it was great, is because it didn't seem like it didn't,
Unrelatable.
it didn't oversell that. I don't know how they would have oversold it, but it seemed like they hit it right on the nose.
Yeah.
Like those kind of arguments and whatever.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's one of those arguments. It is an absurd argument, but it is a real argument. Like, like me and Brielle, like, we've argued about doing like Naked and Afraid. Like, she doesn't think that we'd be able to handle it, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
we might.
Unless there's a mouse.
Yeah,
It's done.
unless there's a mouse. Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
know what? That's fair.
How do you do with snakes? If you're naked snakes, how do you do?
I
Okay,
don't know if
maybe
you know
Naked
this-
and Afraid was a bad
No.
choice.
That's
You know
a terrible idea.
You know, they have flying mice called bats.
Or what the top call them? He calls them
Yeah.
flying AIDS rats.
Wait, what?
Well, isn't Naked and Afraid? I feel like we saw an episode of that, and is that the one where like, are there teams of people that are trying to make it through whatever?
It's like two people together,
Yeah,
right? And
it's
they
like
don't know each
two
other.
strangers.
And you get to bring
You
like
get one item, and you have to survive for a certain amount of days, and
Yeah.
then, like, in the wherever situation they throw you in, and then you have to get from point A to point B at on a certain day, like travel.
Yeah.
I remember one of the last ones that we watched of that. I couldn't take it because in Florida, you get bit by mosquitoes sometimes. And so I knew what they didn't know, which was you don't want to make your camp near the water because that's where mosquitoes live. And they were literally being levitated off the ground by mosquitoes at night and being carried away off to the mosquito hive. And they just looking at their bumped up bodies with all the mosquito bites all over it, I was like, this is enough of the show forever.
Yeah.
They quit, by the way. They were like, no more of this.
Yeah. Like just so many terrible things happening. Like some guy stepped on a thorn and then it got infected and then his foot was all swollen. That was disgusting.
Yeah, oh,
It
hell no.
looked painful. Yeah, exactly. Or what was the guy drank, like he knew better, but he drank from a river anyway, and then he got really sick and they had to like take him off the show.
Damn.
All of this to say the Amazing Race argument was 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, that seems
A lot of their arguments throughout were just perfect. Or like when they were trying to break the window and he's trying to do it fast so he doesn't cut his hand open.
oh.
And they're trying to be quiet and then he's just
He's not like hitting it very hard. Or what is it like whenever they are sitting at the restaurant and they're trying to talk about whether they should turn themselves in, and then she's like, oh yeah, I'm a cop, let me just hide my body cam or cover it. Like beat your ass.
And then she picks the cop calls, she picks up the phone and they're like, what do we do? And he just immediately grabs the phone and drops it in the drink. She's like, what are you doing?
Also,
know.
his
I
whole
saw it on a movie.
whole milkshake spiel.
Dude,
That
I have
was-
had that conversation before.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to what's it called? Ruby's in California. And they do that. They give you the milkshake and then they give you like the little cup of extra. And I was talking to Brielle about that. I'm like, why don't they do this with
Okay.
like everything?
Okay, but like
Like I didn't bring up like spaghetti, but I was just like I'm like soup I get, but there's other
Where's
stuff
my
they have
extra
to have
spaghetti?
made extra.
okay, speaking of Ruby's though, what did you
Yeah.
get to eat there?
The bacon burger.
Delicious, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it the best milkshake you've ever had?
It's close.
No. The answer is yes.
Okay, I guess the answer is yes.
I'm sorry, man. Growing up in Redondo Beach, that's the only milkshake to me that is the true testament of a.
That's a long ass
fan-
walk for a milkshake, though. I like my milkshakes easily
He
accessible.
thinks it's worth it. Is it hot?
Yeah. Will the milkshake
Not the milkshake,
Yeah.
the walk.
Yeah.
Like,
Will it cool you all the way home?
Yeah, like just that's too long for me.
But it's Ruby's. Like, come on.
Cool, I can get an equally delicious milkshake from Dairy Queen, and they hold it upside down for me.
But what restaurant can you go to that is like a classic diner to where literally the only music they play is the Beach Boys?
One man band.
oh.
Fine. Good point.
Ah.
But still.
Yeah, and you get an order from like one of those classic old telephones. Ruby's doesn't do that.
And how about Uber Eats exists now, so you can just you don't have to go anywhere. Just have
There-
someone else
yeah,
be
there
in
we
the
go.
heat for you.
There we go.
Like, oh, take my rubies right at my front door, thank you.
I wish Ruby's was out here. I really do.
By the way, one of my other favorite parts of that movie was when they finally picked them up. They had them in the interrogation room, and they like revealed that like, no, we've been looking for you because we know you didn't do it. And they're like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, of course you didn't do it. Like they were like, of course you couldn't have done it. What are you going to pull off this kind of a heist in a secret society and all of that? No, we just need you to identify the whatever. And they're like, oh God, thank you. And just admit everything immediately. I'm not going to lie. When they admitted everything immediately, I was like, no, this is a trap too, I think.
I laughed my ass off. I had to pause the movie because I was laughing so hard when they came out of the convenience store after buying all their clothes, and when their Uber got there and the cops were driving past them, and they're just like, oh my gosh, they know, and then they like drove off, and then they're like, oh thank goodness, they're just regular old racists.
I love how they're checking out at the convenience store, and they're just like, okay, here's that tag, here's that tag, here's that tag.
Yeah, one tag at a time.
I always love those like overly long scenes. Like they don't have to be that long, but the joke becomes like, that's right, this is number 6, number 7. I think I got a shoe down here. And you're like, are they still going to keep going? And you're like, yeah, also these socks.
Yeah. I liked how they kept like, it was very subtle, like the way that they talked about how, like when they did break up, how they did the very subtle thing of saying, like, we're never on the same wavelength. And then throughout the movie, they were just never on the same wavelength. Like when he kept doing the 1, 2, 3, and then would run, and then
go in the opposite directions.
He's like, all right, 1, 2, 3, and then she freaking just books it, and he's like, I thought that meant like a 1, 2, 3 attack. Like we had weapons.
Okay, so he had a.
But wasn't that what he did the first time though? Like the first time he was like 1, 2, 3, go, and then he booked it, and she's like,
yeah. And then it was in the barn with Edie. He did the 1, 2, 3, and then she runs.
So he had a fire extinguisher. What did she have for a weapon? I forgot. Wasn't it like one of those like hay pickers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a rake or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he just throws the extinguisher at Edie's leg.
So which one would you guys pick? The bacon grease or the horse kick?
Did we decide
I don't think
this?
we did.
Can't remember. I know we talked about.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
Can I just get my head cut off?
What?
We talked about how both of them would suck.
Can I just get my head cut off by a machete? Like, I don't know.
You would take that over a horse kick?
Cut off by a machete?
Bullshit.
Did you see that bruise when she took off his shirt?
It's a bruise.
Still though.
Yeah, he still did a lot of running. By the way, that's where the whole movie fell apart for me. He got kicked by a horse and didn't break one bone. I turned the movie off after that.
But
I'm sure there's a review like that out there. I was following this movie up until he got kicked by a horse. Do you know if you got kicked by a horse, what would actually happen? Let me detail it in these next 5 paragraphs.
But later, whenever they're trying to break into that building, and she's like, "Can't you just like put your back into it or whatever?" And he's like, "Kicked by a horse."
I feel that's something that Cinema Sins is probably going to point.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Or the when he's talking about Mythbusters, like her being able to break the glass with the heel. And then when they both tip over, he's like, "Oh yeah, that myth was busted."
I love how he's just like, in my defense, the heel that wasn't kicking the door broke.
He said the one that he said the standing heel was the one that broke, not the puncturing heel. So what?
So horse kick or grease?
we got to answer.
Yeah, horse
this.
kick or grease. No one ever picked.
So
I'm gonna go with horse kick.
I'm probably going to have to go with horse kick because I don't like being hot. Because I feel like that would sting for a lot longer
and it
than
seems
getting
like
kicked
you'll
by...
be...
Well,
I feel they both are going to hurt for quite a while.
yeah, but...
Well, here's my question is, are you in the same situation they are where you're tied up, or do you have the opportunity to at least put your hands in front of your face?
Do I get a chance to brace
or
for
like
impact?
try and like do the Wakanda like
It seems like the horse would break your arms.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
Like if
point.
you had him like that.
I feel like I would take broken arms over broken rib cage
Yeah.
most days.
Or what if the horse kicked you right in the heart?
Maybe it would be like an Iron Man situation where he got struck by lightning and they're like, you're at 300% power. Like, oh.
Oh,
No,
me
you
in
just
the heart,
be
now I have
300%
super strength.
Dead.
there you go.
It was at 300% and his heart exploded.
His heart grew 3 sizes that day and then
think I would have
burst.
Oh my gosh.
And it burst immediately.
That's perfect.
I think I would pick horse kick too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Bacon grease to the face is the worst.
And like the horse kick, like a bruise that would heal, like your face, like we said, would be
Yeah.
fried forever.
Yeah. No amount of skin grafts are going to make that right again, I don't
Especially
think.
if they were going to do it the way that they were about to with Leilani, because they like tipped her chair upwards and were just like going to pour it on her.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No. Unless they were only going to do it on like half my face, then I could have some like origin story for being an evil villain.
You know, like the Phantom of the Opera or something.
Yeah.
I think the only pro to the bacon grease is like you have a chance of the bacon falling in your mouth. But
Yeah, but I feel that's only if it's a nice person, because she took all of the
Right,
bacon off.
followed by
She took all the
scorching
bacon
hot
off?
bacon
Yeah.
grease.
It was
selfish
just
bitch.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was just the grease. There was no bacon left in the pan.
Well, that's lame.
There could be crumbles.
Yeah, everyone knows the bits are the best.
I don't think you'll be. I don't think you'll be thinking about the bits.
Yeah.
No, you're just gonna have a bit
Be
on your
worried
lip
about
and
the
you're just gonna-
scorching hot
Oh,
grease in
yeah.
your mouth.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Oh, wait, that's my lip that I just licked off of my lip.
Ugh. Yep.
So horse kicks. Got it.
It's the only way.
Like, have you guys seen any of the like pictures of people getting shot with like rubber bullets? Like they have like big bruises that looks like what a horse kick would be like.
Yeah.
Didn't they do like I don't know if you guys have ever seen like, Jackass movies. Haven't
Oh,
they
yeah.
done something
I've
like
heard of
that
them.
before? Think
They got shot with what was it?
Oh,
Those
yeah, that's what it
beanbag
was.
rounds. Yeah, that looked
yeah, because it was
terrible.
Johnny Knoxville, Bam Margera, and then Ryan Dunn. You know, all three of them.
And didn't they showed it in
Yeah.
slow motion too, I want to think. And yeah, dude, that was the worst. I don't know what would be worse. Okay, how about this for a would you rather? Getting shot by the beanbag shotgun round or getting punched in the face by Butterbean?
Ooh, yeah.
Do you remember that when he yeah.
No, I don't know what that is.
Butterbean was this this boxer that he boxed him. Johnny
Oh,
Knoxville
okay.
boxed him like in like a mall kiosk or something. And they were like, I remember after the fact, they were like, Johnny, what's wrong, man? He's like, I'm a little concussed.
But didn't they have like a big hand that like slapped people?
Yeah,
That was
Jackass
Jackass 3.
Or like Wee Man or whatever. Was it like he was sitting on a stool and it was like zapping
There's
him?
a card
and he thought
getting thrown.
they played a trick on him. Yeah. He's like, you're using a card throwing machine.
And Steve-O had the best line in any movie that's ever existed. Anyone can fight me on this. He just looks at Wee Man in the face and he's like, Wee Man, I would never use a car throwing machine on you.
Honestly, to me, I think one of the best lines in any Jackass movie was in Jackass 3D when they're doing like the the porta potty one where Steve-O is getting shot up, like it's the slingshot, and Steve-O's like he's just like
Slingshot, yeah.
I'm claustrophobic, and he's Johnny's like, you're claustrophobic. He's like, yeah, and then Chris Bonnie's just like, just relax and enjoy your shit. Oh.
Dude, of all the things for those people to be
what a great
afraid
bunch
of.
movies.
I know, right? When he said that, I'm like, you're freaking kidding me, right? You're claustrophobic?
So gross.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what grade we thinking for story? Rose?
I'm at like an 80.
An 80?
Yeah.
That's pretty fair, I think.
Like, what's the parameter?
Yeah, it's
100?
one out of 100. The only thing that we do 1 out of 10 with is like music and costumes. So everything else is
Okay.
1 out of 100.
So, are we gonna go untrained? Or did you say why 80?
I don't know. That's like the first score that came to my mind.
I'm sorry. I didn't. As soon as I said it, I didn't know if I put you
you're
on the spot, and I was like, "Well,
That's not a good
I-
answer. Why'd you pick 80 for a review podcast, Rose? Shut up, Gil. Why'd you pick this? I don't
I
know.
don't know. First thing that came to mind. Honestly, I had some problems with the story. It was mostly like with the whole mustache guy. Like, I don't know, his whole motives just kind of seemed like kind of out there. Not out there, but just seemed like there was way too much going on with his character.
Yeah, there was a significant amount
Yeah.
going on.
So, but Leilani and Jamal's chemistry, even though this like goes towards acting, just them together, like amazing chemistry. I love these two together.
That's an acting.
I know, but I'm attributing it to my story.
You can't do that.
I'm doing it.
Hey, you
Caleb.
could say it's for the story. They wrote those characters very well. You said that's right. The way that they acted. No, god dang it. Wait,
Thank
I'm going to
you.
make this work for you. It's the story that was written. They gave it to us in an 80%.
There we go. Their
kinda
chemistry played an important part in the story. There you go.
Bam.
What's up?
That's still acting.
I'm still going with 80. Okay. That's
Yeah,
my
well, you got to think what the story was. It was this couple that got put into a weird situation, and they were trying to fix it. And
See, I
then
loved all that. It's just, yeah, it was really just like the whole cop shit.
the mustache.
Yeah, mustache. I still find it really funny they didn't even give him a name.
Yeah.
So that's like really the only thing that drags it down
Yeah.
for me. The whole like couple, like literally they just keep getting more deep into shit. It's really funny. So yeah, I'm at like an 80.
Fair enough.
So you fight me on
Wish
this,
you could
but
see
yeah,
the
you're like, you know what?
trepidation
Actually,
right now.
Rose, I can agree with you on an 80.
Well, I can. I don't agree with your reasoning. What about you guys?
What would you say, Beth?
I don't know.
I would say 80 is good, probably 90 even for me, just because of like what I was saying earlier is like it had those like it seemed like an updated 80s movie. Like it wasn't trying to be it never struck me that movie as trying to be anything it wasn't. So it like even though I agree like the cop stuff, basically every time they got into something extra crazy, like the sex party or the frat guys or anything to do with the cop that was like over the top, it was over the top, but it wasn't out of place.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's how I would say it.
That's a good point.
Or at least it didn't feel. It was out of place. Obviously,
Yeah,
it didn't feel out of
definitely
place.
worked throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I would say they did have really good, funny chemistry anyway. Like the way they were delivering their lines together was hilarious. And they just really had really funny banter. Like that's what
fantastic.
made them.
Acting.
even though it's acting, like,
Because Caleb won't let us have it.
I mean, that's what a movie is, acting. But I mean, that's what the best parts of the movie was, the banter.
And your score is?
I would say 82, I guess.
80.
82?
85.
85.
So
I think I wavered, but I do want to land on 90 PS.
Oh. All right. So if we average all of those out, that comes to an 83.75.
I don't know how you would grade that, A, B, C, or D, but I like it. Seems like a passing grade.
So far.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got writing. And this is where I think the movie really shines.
Yes, absolutely. The writing alone for Jamal and Leilani, absolutely solid.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The only part that I feel wasn't the best, but it was, they pulled it off good enough with, like, just the actors, is like the dialogue when they were at the dinner party. When they were trying to break into Bicycle's phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I started
yeah.
picking up boxing and I need to call my doctor. Oh, no, it's on my phone and I forgot my password. Like, that felt like a little clunky, but
it did. Especially
Kumail they made it work.
They did. Especially when he's just like, oh, I'm a heavy bleeder, so they said I could never be a personal boxer.
That was the only thing that I felt dialogue-wise was clunky, but like I said, the actors made it work.
They did.
So it's easily forgivable.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like that's the thing with writing. It like crap writing can be fixed by good actors.
Mm-hmm. True that. Yep.
And directors.
And not saying that the writing was bad, just making a general statement. Gosh. I said 80 for story.
Yeah.
Probably like I'm in the high 80s, so maybe like 88.
I can agree with you at that.
What about you guys?
Bethany?
You can go first.
I will say an 89. Because I'm difficult. And because of basically everything you guys already said. Like, it was, obviously you found out, Beth, that some of it was, like, improvised or whatever. But clearly, like, it was, I don't know. It was just so good. Like, little things, like the joke that you said that where she was like, what did you think? That was a male-only door? Like, can I just tell you, that landed with me harder than anyone because that is something I would do 100%. I'd be like, oh, your weak female arms couldn't do it, to let the man try. It seems to be locked. So, I don't know. I thought it was, I don't know, maybe because I could relate to some of it so much. I thought the writing was good, but yeah, I enjoyed it very much. 89. If you want to get microscopic about it, 89.9.
All right.
Beth?
I mean, I'll co-sign on that.
Also 89.9 then?
Sure.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Because
he
of banter,
really is
still.
putting in 89.9. Okay.
Hey, I'm just following the rules that I set in place.
Okay.
All right, that comes to an 88.725.
There you have it.
Like, what was it at the beginning of the movie when that guy ran over 3 or 4 times, and then that couple was out there. And they're like, "Oh my god, they just killed a guy!"
And he started running away, and she's like,
says his name.
Says his name. His name is whatever. They're like, why did you say my name? What? I can't remember
Jamal
either of their
Leilani.
names. Jamal and Leilani, and her name is Leilani. He's like, God dang it, let's go.
Yeah. Those shoes look really great or something like that.
I think one of the the dialogue, like their back and forth was great, but I really liked when they were in the diner or cafe, whatever it was, and when they were
Yeah.
talking to the cop over the phone, and they're just like, "Have you driven your car at all today?" And they're just like, "What? No." Like, and they're like, "So you're saying your car is in your driveway right now?" And she's like, "Let me go check." Oh my gosh.
As far as I know.
What?
It's gone.
And then the waitress comes up. They're like, "Is that a waitress?" And then
Yeah, I love how she just like pulls her phone away. She's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Just grab it, throws it in the milkshake.
But even the conversation before that, like, I feel like that'd be something that, like, the conversation I would have, like, I'd be discussing, like, why can't we go to the cops? And then
you'd ask for alcohol.
and then given all of these reasons why not to, and just his reaction when they're just like, "Why'd you run away from the crime scene?" And he's just like, "That's a very good question, officer. That's why you're so good at your job." I love that. All right, moving on. We got acting. So we got Jamal and Leilani. So Kumail Nanjiani and what's her name?
Let me. Issa Rae?
Issa Rae.
Is it Issa Rae?
Yeah.
I'm terrible at pronouncing names.
Issarae.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leilani.
So, what are we thinking for? Let's start with Leilani. What do you guys think?
I don't want to spoil how I feel about everyone in this movie, but I am giving her a 10 out of 10 or a 100. Either one, whichever one we're going by. I give it, everyone gets 100, but maybe they don't. We'll have to go through each one and see. Right?
Yeah, I thought she was good. Like it seemed like she was kind of dry at times and like snarky, I guess, or sassy, I guess is better. And then with him like mugging, yeah, I'll go with it. I guess a 95.
Yeah, that's a pretty good score for her. What do you think, Rose?
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go with a 95.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know we were doing them individually.
Oh, you were going all together?
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, you're good.
So,
Mm-mm-mm.
okay, 95. 95 still.
I'm going to have to bring that down to a 90.
My bad.
Oh, you're
Sorry,
You're good.
I've never done this before.
Yeah, I think she did really, really well with everything that she was given. The only scene that was a little tougher for me was when she was kind of having that serious moment with her friend.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Was that at the
Where
party?
she's talking about like, oh, what are you like talking with a friend, being like, oh, you guys have the perfect relationship and blah 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 blah. And her more serious moments were a little tougher for me.
Her friend, though, just the whole, oh, I put those pictures of me and my husband in bed on Instagram to make my exes jealous. I'm like, okay,
It tracks.
all right.
Yeah, I still think she did a really good job.
Yeah, I LOL'd on that one.
So I'm gonna be a little lower. I'm going down to like a 93.
You monster.
My stars.
So that puts her at a 95.75.
Not too shabby.
All right, next up we got Kumail.
Who's going
So,
first?
All right.
Am I gonna go first again?
It looked like Rose was.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
He looks like he's very excited to go.
Listen, I am too.
Wait, so who's
So-
going first? Oh, okay. My bad. So I absolutely loved Kumail in this movie. I'm going to 98.
98.
Yeah, I loved him in this movie. I was laughing my ass off whenever he was on screen. So, loved him.
You know, that's actually kind of fair.
Right?
I'm going to say I had the same issues with his like more serious moments. Not as much though.
Okay.
So since I gave her 93, I'll give him like a 95.
Oh, I thought you were going
He
to
was-
say 96.
Nope.
Oh wow, sexist. Anyway.
Hey, I try to keep it real.
I'm giving my real true opinions.
Okay, what about you guys?
Beth?
Yeah, I would probably go 99.
Hmm?
I'm gonna go $1. So yeah, 99. Cause I just love him anyway. Like, and I think he did a great job. Like I already said, like mugging and just being able to deliver really hilarious lines, but keeping a straight face sometimes.
And we all know me. I'm 100 all the way down. I love Kumail. Like I don't know. His podcast was one of the first ones I ever listened to, and I've been rooting for that guy ever since. So anytime he is able to do anything, like I'm really like you could never get a real. Like, this movie would have been greenlit for everything it wanted if I was the one in charge. Because I'd be like, yeah, just give him what he wants. Give him everything. Like, it's terrible. Doesn't matter. I love the guy. Like, so, I don't know. He's great. He makes me laugh in this movie. He was great in it. Can't wait to see, I forgot the name of it now.
Ooh,
The Eternals.
yes.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
What-
Did this film after Eternals? Because I know...
I thought it was filmed before.
Because we didn't get to see him with, like...
I don't know.
He looked like... I mean, you didn't really get to see him
Like with
without...
Like he was a little beefier,
Yeah.
but not like jacked.
Well, he did have the low-key ripped guy, like, baggy clothes thing going on.
That's
I
true.
noticed.
But
Like,
did they show his chest after
Yeah.
he got kicked?
You didn't even...
Oh,
you
that's
didn't get to
true.
see any... Like, it was from, like... Where, like, just the bruise up. So it was, like, kind of his lower shoulder that you got to see. You didn't get to see everything
No.
else.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Which I wanted to... I need to be very careful.
Yeah.
See
you
the whole
do.
package? I get you. I feel you.
No, I just wanted to know what, like, when this was filmed versus when Eternals was, or is being, or whatever. So,
Well, it's crazy. I never realized how far you could like delay something because like I know there was a TJ Miller movie. It was called like Search Party or something, and then it was delayed for like 5 years because I remember like I listened to a podcast with TJ Miller and I remember him talking about filming that and Transformers, whichever Transformers he was in, like one right after the other, and then Transformers came out and then Search Party just disappeared for a long time and then showed up years later. So I don't know. He could have done it 5 years
yeah,
ago.
probably. It's kind of the same thing that's happening with the New Mutants movie.
You mean the
Serious?
No Mutants? That movie
Nope.
will never be seen ever.
Like Caleb said, just put it on Hulu already.
Yeah, just cut your losses, Disney. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even your movie.
Or technically, wouldn't they put it on Disney Plus?
No, because I think it's rated R.
Oh, it is? Okay, never mind that.
I think. It might be PG-13.
Have they?
Do they not have rated R stuff
They
on
do not.
Disney
They
Plus?
use Hulu for
Is that
that.
true?
Now that Disney's the majority shareholder in that.
Oh,
With
yeah.
family. Do you guys
Yes.
have Disney Plus?
I love it. Oh, absolutely.
Do you think it's worth it? Like
Yeah,
having an
it's
extra?
so
Yeah.
Wait, hasn't one of you not
Yeah,
seen The
this
Mandalorian
dumbass.
still?
Rude.
Gee, all right, that is a little aggressive, but
So
it is. Go ahead.
if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, what makes it worth it for you?
Okay, for me, it's just kind of like the small storytelling. Like it's kind of like a Western Star Wars. It's like it's set up that way where it's kind of like the mission of the week, but it has kind of an overall like an overarching story. And I really like the
Are you talking about The Mandalorian? Okay, I was asking if he hasn't seen The Mandalorian, what makes Disney
Oh.
Plus
Oh,
worth it for him?
Sorry.
I was
Like,
like,
I-
well, okay.
No, I love The Mandalorian.
By the way,
I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, don't interrupt him. I want to hear it again, even though I know.
Can you relate it to like Walker, Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's in the West, basically. He's in the Star Wars West.
And what are you waiting for?
Honestly, don't know. I don't
Bro.
know because I don't know because I hated The Last Jedi, but I loved The Rise of Skywalker, so I like.
I don't know why.
Shut up.
Wow, that was 2 wrong opinions in a row. That's insane.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that full on what's the word? What is oh my goodness.
An apologist? That's what you sound like.
Encourages. No. Oh my goodness. What is the word I'm looking for? Whenever I watch the ending and she says Race Skywalker, I get pumped because I love that. She calls herself.
Hated that.
I love it.
If you guys want to hear my thoughts,
Man,
go to our Rise of
I would
Skywalker
love-
breakdown. We get into it.
Yeah, it gets pretty heated.
All right.
I am going to get... Wait, I don't know if I've heard... I'm going to have to listen to that because I want to talk to you guys about that, but not now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Our
take us down another rabbit hole.
yeah, going up to it, it didn't do well.
What did it get?
Well, if he's going to listen, I'm not going to give it
Yeah,
away.
that's true. True. Still, you're.
I mean, even though you can.
Honestly, though, to me, what makes Disney Plus worth it is like being able to like watch all like the Disney Channel shows that I grew up with. So like That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
Man, That's So Raven. I have not watched that show in a millennia. It feels like.
there. It's still great though. Oh, love it.
I like watching their original stuff, like
Yeah.
the prop hunter guy that they have. Like he just goes through and like finds props from old Disney movies before they stored the props and everything. So
Oh, okay.
I keep
Yeah, that
hearing
sounds
about
really
that
cool.
show.
Awesome.
It sounds
He-
great.
Yeah, it does.
like the first episode's Mary Poppins. And so he finds like different props
Okay.
from Mary Poppins. Like he found the guy that has the original mold for the Mary Poppins umbrella.
Oh,
That's
okay.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
Um,
That's awesome.
And then he'll reunite props
Yeah, just
from
curious.
or with like the actors. So like he took the Tron suit to the guy that played Tron.
That's legit.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Actually got paid to get the
Yeah.
Flynn's neon light fixed for Disney.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay, I gotta check this out.
Yeah, me too.
So I like watching that. I like watching
But,
the
like-
behind the scenes stuff with the Mandalorian because they had to invent like a whole new different type of technology for that.
That is amazing
Right?
what they did with that. Like how they did those those like adaptive backgrounds or whatever, and it's just like a big
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Did you watch? Have you watched the like that or what's it called? Gallery.
I watched something on YouTube about it like right when it first came out, but I haven't watched it. I haven't gone through the whole thing on Disney
so
Plus.
they were talking about like the background and talking about like how you couldn't really tell where the LED started and the real set began. And they had an instance where one of the guys running the sound started screaming and being like, "There's a fire on set!" because they had like smoke running on the screen.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Dude, that is so I don't know.
Yeah.
We have so much to talk about Rise of Skywalker because that whole show is better than that one movie. Anyway,
Wait.
in every way.
So you said I had 2 wrong answers, right?
Opinions.
Okay, so I said I hated The Last Jedi. Yes. Okay, so you.
Yes,
so
and you loved
liked
The Rise of
Last
Skywalker.
Jedi.
I didn't at the time before Rise of Skywalker. I liked The Last Jedi. Now seeing the sequel trilogy as a whole, I would. Now that I know what it is, I'd rather have none of it. I'd rather it be spotlessly taken out of my mind. And I just am like, well, Star Wars died after Episode 6. They just lost all the knowledge of Star Wars, and that's it. No more Star Wars. Luke just got in his little land speeder and sped off into the distance.
One of our future episode ideas, we want to do a Dreamcast of Episode 8 and 9. Like redoing it.
He wants to do a Dreamcast of Episode 9. I think it's fine as it is.
No, forget you and your opinions.
I'm fine with Episode 8, but
no, I want to start with Force Awakens.
I
and
gotta
I want
send
to
you.
make
Good.
what is wrong with the Force
a new
Awakens?
Episode 8 and a new Episode 9. And my trilogy is going to be badass, and you can shut up.
If J.J. Abrams, in my opinion, if J.J. Abrams got to direct the whole trilogy,
Yes.
I feel it would have been that much better.
But would you want him to have written it too? Because somebody animated the obviously not the whole movie, but they animated this script, the original script. It was. Do you know the podcast? It's called The Weekly, I think it's called The Weekly Planet. It's 2 Australian dudes. Anyway, I will send you the link to it on YouTube where they had someone animate that script, and it will make you sad in your heart, because you're like, this is what it could have been, and we got thrown in oh yeah, there was a clone war. I guess that does explain why the Emperor's a clone, and we just never talked about it since the first guy way back Episode 1 ago. Sure, yeah, clones, sure.
Yeah, if you go back to The Rise of Skywalker, one of my biggest gripes with the movie is that Palpatine had children somehow, and my whole thing was who? The Emperor is gross.
Sorry, I just gotta throw in one more thing. Okay, have you ever heard of Cincy Nerd? Has anyone watched Cincy Nerd on YouTube?
Mm-mm.
So he's
That
like
sounds
a toy
familiar,
collector.
but I don't watch it.
And
I don't.
I think it was the Force Friday when The Last Jedi was coming out, and he was talking about Rey, and he's just like, oh yeah, Rey Palpatine, or at least that's just what it seems like. I'm guessing it's Palpatine, and everyone was just like, oh my gosh, dude, you called it 2 years ago. I'm like, dude, did you go to the freaking future?
Wow.
It's insane. I never would have guessed that.
What was it? Oh, I'll say this is the last thing I'll say about it on this show anyway. When when the movie started and then you're going through the, I don't know, whatever that planet is where the Emperor is, and it looks horrifying. Everything's scary. There's lightning. There's a guy with crazy fingers that turns out to be the Emperor. And all I could think is we need a kick-ass Star Wars horror movie. Because I would have been legitimately scared if they were like, you know what? This is actually a horror movie. You never expected it, but this is how we're ending it with a slasher Star Wars film.
Yeah, that would have been... I totally agree. I mean, after I was finished with my seizure...
So the
Yeah,
Lovebirds.
All right, so I already did the math. So Kumail averaged out to 98%. And so if we average both their scores, it comes to a 96.875.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That is, what, 4% away from being the correct answer. I'm just kidding.
So, moving on to character development. I don't think you can do character development for one or the other.
Yeah,
It's kind of them as a couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
So, what are you thinking?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
I'm looking at you.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Overall, I don't know, I loved seeing their relationship kind of like. It seemed like it was starting to get back together throughout the whole movie. Like, honestly, the part where they like actually break up in the car, really sad. Like, I wasn't about to cry, but like I really felt bad for him because you could tell, like in the first 5 minutes, you're like, okay, yeah, this is definitely love. You can tell that they are truly in love. So just seeing like them like try to reconnect throughout the movie and just try to understand each other more, and then finally at the ending, or at least it seemed. I mean, if you have ambulance sex, like doesn't that like just solidify that you guys are back together?
Who knows, dude?
True. All right, true.
No.
But,
Yeah.
So I loved that. So yeah, I don't know. So for like, it's out of 100, right? I forget.
Yes.
I'm just making sure. Okay, Kate?
You're on the side that you get to see it.
I'm gonna smack you across the face. Would you like a slap across the face?
The face.
I'm sorry, I was upset. What did you say?
Call my right hand bacon grease.
Asshole. 85.
85. All right, what do you guys think?
Bethany?
You go first. Just
I
go first every time. Okay.
You heard it here. I need you to isolate that and send it to me.
Except when I want to go first.
Yeah.
Also
then
isolate that.
it'll get mysteriously deleted. It's hard to say because, I mean, they had a good arc, I guess. I don't know how you would say. It's hard to say how they developed, I guess, because they had like that, the 5 minutes up top where they met and it was very sweet. And then it jumped to like 4 or 5 years later or whatever it was. And it got to the point to where you're like, okay, you like you said, you get to where they're arguing in the car and then they break up. And then, I don't know. I'll just say 85 as well because I'm not exactly sure how to grade it because it seems like without that adventure that they went on, they wouldn't have got back together.
It's true.
So if I'm being extra cynical about it, if I'm like, okay, well, let's pretend these are real people. Let's see them in 5 more years. Are they going to need another adventure to get them? You know what I mean? But so I don't know. Well, the Amazing Race, was that a year after
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
the events of the body of the movie? I'll give them an 86 for character development then. How about that? Because I say they're on the road to recovery.
Okay.
All right.
Beth?
This just seems really hard. Because what more can I say?
You can disagree with me and then isolate that you agree with me, and then you can give your...
Help. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. I agree with you. 86. And for the same reasons.
If you think that's not going to be a soundbite on our next episode, you're wrong.
Oh, because you're recording this too?
Yep.
Yeah, I really liked everything that they were able to do with them. Like it shows like the way that they connected at the beginning, and then when they got to the point where it seemed like their relationship was in an okay place. I mean, yeah, they were arguing, but their biggest issue was that they were never on the same page, and they got to a point near the end that they finally, like, they worked to a point where they were on the same page about most things. And the biggest one was when Mustache was
So what?
holding Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to think for a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, and like they did the whole 1, 2, 3 thing again. And
Sorry.
I want to know how he got to on the side of the boat so high without them hearing that he was splashing around, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, but it just showed that they, like, with this, they were able to, I feel like, open up to each other a little bit more. Like, he was able to admit why he didn't want her watching the documentary he was making.
Mm-hmm.
And she was able to
Oh yeah.
kind of explain how she feels about him. So I might go a little higher than everyone else. I'm going to go to like 88.
Ooh, rebel.
Which brings that to an 86.25. All right, next up we got effects, which there weren't that many effects in here, so more stunts.
Only one,
Yeah.
right?
I think the stunt work was pretty good.
It was.
Just like the crazy shit that they were able to do, kicking the glass window was pretty funny, and then them trying to punch the glass open, and I loved that they were trying to so hard to be quiet, and then once the glass did break and they were like walking in, they're just shh. That was they didn't really do anything with gunshots.
No, they didn't.
Like, I know that all the frat boys
Mm-mm.
got shot up, but it doesn't really show them doing all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
didn't
could-
she
Yeah,
shoot
and
him
I
at
don't
the
recall
end?
seeing like a gunshot wound on him.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Kumail took it the worst.
Yeah, the biggest I think effect was definitely his bruise.
Yep.
Like, that bruise was nuts.
For that, A+.
Well, on that behind the scenes thing, they said that he was really tied to the chair, and they like pulled the chair and smashed with him in it, and then they used a fake horse leg to like go up against his chest to make it look like he was getting kicked.
Aw.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a really good effect. When he got bushwhacked by the horse.
Yeah, it looks bad.
It looked very bad.
Yeah. I'm not quite as low as 80, so I think I'm gonna go like 82.
I can agree with you there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
going 82?
Yeah, me too.
What do you say, Beth? 82s across the board?
Sure.
82.
82s across the board.
Well, that just made my math a lot easier.
Fine, 82.2.
Ah, crap.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, next up we got music, and this is out of 10. So what do you guys think?
Since I'm gonna go first, I'm gonna say the music was a 10, and I'm gonna give it a 10, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I couldn't tell you one piece of music that was in that movie, which just means to say that I feel like I only notice if the music's bad or if it's out of place. And I don't remember there being like songs in it, you know what I mean? Like pop, like anything popular in there. So I'm going to say the music was a 10 for the same reason I would give like a movie a 10 out of like for editing. Because like, you wouldn't notice good editing. Is once it gets terrible is when you're like, that's weird. Like, why is he all of a sudden across the room? So I say 10 because I couldn't tell you. They probably used a G chord, I bet.
Well, didn't they have the scene where they're like in the car
Yeah,
and then they
Katy
start
Perry's
singing
Firework.
together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Firework.
totally
Sing.
remember that.
Damn.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care,
yeah,
but for
yeah.
that was still a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. He was having a good time.
Hey, you know what? Then there it goes. There is my justification for the 10. The one song.
But is it 1 through 10 now?
Please, nobody talk about any other songs in case you remember one. Only the one song we remember, Katy Perry's Firework. Perfectly placed. Beth?
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't remember any other songs either besides that. But I thought they were having a good time. So, I mean,
Yeah.
is that what it is? 1 through
Just
10 now?
for music and
Or
costumes.
1 through, okay.
Just because doing it out of 100 and we don't know
Okay.
shit about music or costumes and what that entails. Make it a little easier on ourselves.
Yeah, I will give it a. Okay.
An 8.
I will give it an 8.
All right. What about you, Rose?
I'm going 9 just because I loved how much Kumal put into that fireworks song. Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
What?
You guys are all like super high. I thought like I'm with you guys that like the music was like average.
Rude.
No,
I'm just
forget you. It was like you said the only like memorable song
It was basic.
Katy Perry's Firework, and Katy Perry's Firework is a 4 at best.
That only 3 out of 4.
Get out of your house right now. Don't be disrespecting on the parrot.
Ah.
I don't know, I'm like at a 6.
Oh,
So
that hurt.
we averaged that out. I think it'd be about like an 8.
Yeah. So.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got costumes. So this one's 1 through 10. And the only costumes I'm recalling are
I'll go
his
first.
normal
10.
clothes. His like convenience store clothes.
Yeah.
His Walgreens
His
clothes.
Walgreens clothes.
Yeah. And then when they had to dress up for the
That was a.
Oh yeah, for
The-
the gala.
yeah.
That was purple, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
That seems right.
It was like purplish
What
with
was
like and then the this is why we make it 1 out of 10.
Yep.
The thing that shows is like black.
Oh yeah. Is it a lip?
Oh, the lapel?
Like the
Oh yeah. I think
or
that's-
lining.
Lapel, maybe? I don't know.
Whatever the hell
why I
that
never got
the
into
flippy
fashion.
things are on a jacket.
flippy things.
Oh, on the jacket. So maybe it is lapel. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. You gotta coordinate.
Yeah, isn't the
Yeah.
lapel like the neck collar things?
Is it? I always called them the neck collar things.
That's what I thought they were too.
Yeah. How
I'm just teasing you.
you need to do you know any rich people? You should give this episode to them and be like, "Hey, do you want to laugh? Listen to us try and figure out what the neck thing is on a suit jacket." I only use one fork when I eat dinner.
Hell, I use plastic forks because I don't like washing
Yeah.
dishes.
Same.
That's another big argument me and my wife get into. Like I'll make all my food for like a week on paper plates and plastic utensils. And then she's like, "Go wash the dishes." I'm like, "I didn't use any of them." And spoiler alert, it doesn't go well.
Husband of the year.
I love that you keep doing it though. Like, listen, one of these days it's gonna work, and
Yeah, one day she's gonna get sick of hearing it.
Well, do you cook your food? Or like
yeah, do you cook your food, or are you a dirt person like me, and you just would, if left to your own devices, you would just buy 300 cans and just eat out of a can every day, cold beans or whatever.
beans? Ugh. Like I like beans, but not cold.
I'm more of the person that will snack on stuff. I won't like do a healthy meal, but I'll like eat enough snacks to be like, yeah, I'm full. Like, or at the end of the night, I'm like, yeah, I'm not hungry.
Oh my god.
And then when I'm having like a really lazy day, I just have hungry for dinner.
That's hilarious. I used to eat that all the time as a kid.
Yeah, I was gonna cook, but these dishes aren't done.
Yeah.
Or I'll like go to like make myself a sandwich, realize we're out of paper plates, and then I'll just put everything back.
Oh my. Wow.
Ha.
Yeah.
Not even on a paper
exactly.
towel.
Yeah, I actually do it on paper towels a lot too. It's just like if I'm running low, I'm like, I'm gonna need those for something. Goodness.
Yeah.
Anyway, get into costumes.
So wait, we're on costume, right? What did everybody vote for costume?
Rose?
I'll go with a 7.
7?
Yeah.
That's about where I'm at too. Like they were pretty good. They just
Stephanie?
weren't like
Yeah.
Her unicorn hoodie, though. Gosh, I loved that. That's fantastic.
yeah, the costumes were good, but they weren't like Rocket Man level good.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and like whenever they got the like tux and like the fancy dress, like I thought that was funny because like her friend obviously
Yeah,
wasn't
right.
the same size as her, but she's like, "Sure, I have something for you."
Movie magic.
But I would go with a 7 too. Exactly, perfect fit.
And I'm going to go with an 8, kind of for the same reason I went with music at a 10, because it's like everything made sense. They're like, oh, we have to get these because we have blood on us. We have to change now because we have to go do the thing at the place with the masks. Yeah, so I'll go 8.
And then what did you say, Beth? A 7?
Oh, 7 too.
Well, with this one, I'll say
7
majority
also.
rules, and we'll go with 7. Because I don't have a 7 and a quarter.
All right.
All right. Last up, it's just our own personal grades. So you guys want to start?
Would you like me to personal grade first, Beth?
Sure.
Again, I feel like this is the boring answer because I just love Kumail, but I would give it 100 just because I would watch that movie again just for the sheer fact of I'd be like, oh, I'm still supporting my buddy, even though he doesn't know me and we're not friends at all. And if he ever heard me say, as I said it just now to you guy, all three of you just now, my buddy, I was like, can we delete that? But yeah, I give it 100. I love that movie. I'll watch anything with Kumail in it.
Okay. I probably would give it an 85 because I did really like it. I thought it was really funny. I also love Kumail. Again, I love their banter. It had romance, adventure, comedy. Like it had everything I want. But it was kind of cheesy at times, but in a funny way. So that's what I give it. 85.
I would just like to add that.
Are we back to 100?
Yeah.
Wait, am I doing it wrong?
I would just like to add that is why I'm rating it so high as well, is because it's one of those where it seems it did the thing that did you ever see the TV show You on Netflix? with the it does the thing. Obviously, it doesn't take as big of a turn right away, but it does the thing right away where you're like, because I didn't know what the movie was at all when we watched it. I just knew he was in it, and I was like, we'll watch it. And I just thought it was going to be a rom-com, and I was like, I'm in, don't care. And then it turned out to be what it was, what we talked about, and I was like, oh, okay, this is awesome. So yeah, I thought it had something for everybody.
Except music.
Except music.
Except music, except for that one song.
All right, Rose.
I'm gonna agree with everything that Beth said. You summed it up perfectly, but I'm gonna boost my score up a little bit to an 87.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I really like movies like this where it's just the crazy, just witty banter, just the relatable situations that everyone gets put into, and just like the overall just craziness. Like, I love that stuff. So yeah, the issues that I had with it were mostly like with like the party scene, like when they were at the friend's house.
Yeah.
Like, that was my biggest gripe. Like when they were doing like the fake acting.
Yeah, it's fair.
Like the intentionally bad.
Well, that was
Yeah,
uncomfortable, like in a funny way.
And that's just like a testament to Kumail and what was her name? Issa?
Yeah, I think it's Issa.
Yeah, just their
It's
abilities to make something that's supposed to be awkward funny. I mean, awkward but funny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm actually probably on the same as you, Rose, 87.
Ooh.
So that brings it to an 89.75. This is a very precise episode.
I feel like I'm ruining it by giving all my 100s, but I'm sorry. I know those are like boring answers to be like, ugh, what are you, a fan of something?
No, that's why we love having guests on, because it just like, even though like they give their own like personal bias or they think that they're jacking up our system, they never seem to. The only one that did was Victor with Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Wait, did
Low?
he score intentionally high or
Which
low?
character did he give a low score to? And
Captain
character-
America.
Yeah.
Like, he gave a low score to Captain America for character development, and
What
it
the
just
what?
jacked everything up.
Yep.
What? I'm sorry. Is this some kind of a monster that you're friends with? Like, did he not weep tears when Mjolnir just went into his hand, and the whole, no matter where you were, everyone just was like, yes, just got out of their chairs and screamed like Captain America
so we
could
were
actually
basing
hear
it
them
off like
screaming.
throughout the whole MCU.
Oh, my
like how
goodness.
I think we
Yeah,
graded,
which
like,
was stupid.
Yeah, I think we graded like the 6 main Avengers for how their storyline was throughout the whole MCU, and yeah, I forget which movie he docked him on, but yeah, that's why he gave Cap a low score.
I think he docked him a lot for,
Was it the first Avenger?
yeah, for First Avenger. Well, no, it was everything as a whole, because he said that, like, sidetrack. No, he was saying that as a whole, Captain America doesn't really go anywhere as a character. He's like, he's the same person throughout, and I'm just like, "Ugh." So that was the one and only grade that he actually went back and changed.
You need to see if your friend has like is he strangling animals, like small animals around his house. What is wrong with this guy? Victor, I'm sorry, I don't know you. I love you, man. I'm just kidding.
So our final grade for the Lovebirds has come to,
I really got to get a real drum.
yeah, probably a B+.
Not bad.
Yeah, it is sitting at an 86.54%. So
I think that is a
so
good,
that puts
fair
it on
score.
the same level as Parasite. It's a little bit below Parasite. Going back into our other grades, it's actually
We haven't seen
about
that yet.
equal with Frozen 2.
Also haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, we haven't
It's a
seen
couple
Frozen 2
points
or
below Rocket Man.
Parasite.
All
Also,
three
I've
are
not
worth
seen
a
Rocket
watch.
Man.
A little bit below Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
we
We
have
saw
seen
that,
that one.
yeah.
It's a point lower than Detective Pikachu.
We saw
Lower. Yeah, that makes sense. Detective Pikachu was
Yeah.
an amazing movie.
Let's see. A little bit lower than The Unicorn Store.
I can accept that because, like I've fought with
Never
Caleb,
even
I think
heard of
that
that.
grade's lower after watching it more than once.
Yeah, well, you should have thought about that while we were breaking it down.
Well, Caleb, I think you're just Brie Larson biased.
Maybe.
Bam. Shots
Ooh,
fired.
got him.
It is it's on the same level as the Lego Movie 2 and Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And it's a little bit
I don't think we've seen Lego Movie 2.
it's a little bit below How to Train
Sorry,
Your
go ahead.
Dragon 2 and How to Train Your Dragon, the first one.
Okay, but the third one's higher.
The third one, yes, it's higher.
Okay. Phew. Okay, we're good.
Then it's a little bit below Aquaman.
I gotta watch Aquaman again. I really do.
Then it's a little bit below Dawn and Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Fair.
And those are all of our other B+ movies.
Yeah, okay, that makes
All
sense.
right.
So, is there going to one day be an All Bros Rotten Tomatoes style website that's going to exist? Where all of this information is going to be, we can just go to the website and be like,
Actually,
what do they think of this
You
one?
can go on our website. I actually made a link to the Excel sheet that we use.
Oh, hey.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
It's
Wait, what is your website?
tinyurl.com/theallbros.
You do. I heard you say it on the last episode.
Yeah,
and it's
so
like, tiny
our
URL. I
real
haven't heard
website
that.
is like wix.com/theallbros channel /theallbros/ a bunch of stuff. So you can go to tinyurl.com and like put in your like long ass URL because I'm cheap and haven't bought a website yet. And it shrinks it down.
Dude, it's always something. They're like, oh, do you want to spend? They're like, oh, I have an innocuous name. Like for us, the Untrained Eye. They're like, hey, do you want the untrainedeye.com? Cool. That'll be $5,000, please. I was like, well, we'll never be the untrainedeye.com.
Yeah. So I used wix.com and it's like a free, you can set up your website like absolutely for free. It just has like a Wix ad in it. But you set up the whole website. I have it set up so you can listen to our podcast on it. Has links to all of our social media, YouTube. You can like send us stuff through our email, links to our shops and all that good stuff.
I need to bookmark that.
Yeah, and tinyurl helps with it not being super long.
Yeah. Way easier to remember tiny URL than. I'm sorry. How many backslashes?
It has a ton because it throws in our
Three.
email,
Yeah.
it throws in the site name, it throws in like everything that you could possibly ever use, and then at the end it's just like .com, and you're just like, how about no? But yeah, setting up
How
the
about
tiny
no?
URL was free. It's kind of like one of those bit.ly or bit.ly things.
That's what it was. I was trying to think of what I used back in the day, and it was Bitly. Yeah, I used to try and yeah. Now I'm just like, I've abandoned our website. It's Google the Untrained Eye.
Yeah, so that concludes this breakdown. Do you guys want to tell everyone listening where you guys can, or where we find your stuff?
Beth, go ahead.
No.
If you go to google.com and type in the Untrained Eye, you can probably find us. If you go to Instagram or Twitter, you can find us at the @ symbol. It's a little A with a circle around it. Untrained iPod. And again, if anyone finds us on Facebook and types anything in the comments that's not the All Bros or the Untrained Eye, then we will start posting on Facebook again. But until that day, Facebook will remain dormant. But you can find us there too.
Awesome.
And that's it. Thank you for having us
coming
on. We
It's
really
been
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Do you guys usually have episodes this long?
Yeah, are you gonna break this one up?
Is this a two-parter
Don't
to be
know.
continued?
We have the only episode we've done that where we split it up is Endgame.
Yeah, it was Endgame.
I might have to.
I mean, I don't think the Lovebirds are as epic as Endgame.
Yeah, you can call this episode Lovebirds Endgame.
Where are we at?
After
We're
the
at
snap.
3, yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, damn. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, I'm probably going to split this one up there. So maybe like half this week and half next week.
Okay.
No, you're
good.
absolutely
Sorry, guys.
fine.
No, you are totally fine. You should have seen when
Dude, yeah,
sorry,
I mean,
no,
we
I
had,
think when we first started doing
Go
this,
ahead,
when
please.
we decided to merge our 2 reviews of Coco and The Last Jedi into one episode, wasn't it like pushing 4 hours?
Oh yeah.
it was pretty bad.
No, we did that because that week we had like it was when we did news. We had like 0 news. We had 0 trailers to talk about. We had like a couple pop figures and no Blu-rays. So we're just like, why don't we just combine the 2 to make the episode a little longer? And not realizing that we had a lot to say.
And we are some talking sons of guns, so
Yeah. You have all kinds of stories.
But I don't know how you guys feel about this episode.
I dig
but I
it.
feel
Yeah.
really good about it.
I do too. This was a blast.
Yeah, I think we all had a really good time.
It was really fun. Like it didn't feel like 3 hours.
Should we end with fireworks?
Oh yeah, are we fireworking or what, man?
I'm sorry.
I need to bring up the
refuse to
instrumental?
sing on, live.
I can't.
You think after 3 days of choir, I'd be okay with it? Nope.
I just tried to hit that high note and couldn't.
Yeah, no one's heard me sing like ever.
All right, closing time on 3, 2, 1. Closing. Okay.
I love how they were just looking at us like, are you
no.
serious right now?
Are we really doing this?
Are they going to start singing? Because I'm going to shut this down right now.
I'm hanging up the phone.
All right. Well, if you like this episode and want to hear more of our stuff, you can subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Where you can find us pretty easy. If you can't, just go somewhere else. You can
He's so blunt.
catch all of our
Agreed.
episodes on YouTube, as well as some bonus videos that we are probably going to make.
Yeah.
We're also on social media, Facebook, facebook.com/theallbros, Twitter and Instagram @theallbros. Hit us up if you have episode ideas, want to answer our question of the week, or would want to join us. We'd love to have anyone,
Do it, join
anyone
them.
on. You can also email us at theallbroschannel@gmail.com or go to our
Yikes.
website, which is tinyurl.com, and there are links to our shop on TeePublic. Ooh, I don't know what I'm going to do for the artwork this week. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
And
Just a picture
There
of
we
Kumail's
go.
bruised chest.
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, next week will probably be the second half of this episode. Or the half that you just listened to. I don't know how I'm going to do that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I might just post the whole damn thing. and call it a day.
Stay tuned.
I mean, it's fine with us.
Just post one on Monday and one on Tuesday. You're fine.
All right. Well, until next week, this has been the All Bros podcast featuring the Untrained Eye. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Deuces.
Bye. I'm not feeling Herbert.
Oh, you bitch.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling Herbert.
Wait, do you do that legit?
Yeah, no, yeah.
That is not a soundbite. That is you doing it.
Oh, you're yelling.
Okay, well, I can't
Okay,
belied that
okay.
you.
Yeah,
would
you've
guess
done it
to
with
not
our other
do
ones.
Untrained
All right,
Eye.
asshole.
Okay. So long. There. There it is.
Dude, that is a great impression you do of that because I legit
thank
thought
you.
that was added in after the fact every time.
Oh.